What's going on? Tuesday Painter people, PA Gamer Dad, thank you for the Prime sub. Appreciate it. Almost nearly a year indeed. Enoch Crew coming in with the 2-year sub. Thank you so much for the support, guys. I really appreciate it. What's going on? Ben Fett. Someone mentioned MCP and how we talked about it in the news and how the new Starset came out and not a whole lot has changed. And they mentioned how the characters changed in the game. But I guess what I was more commenting on in the news section of the podcast that came out this Monday, yesterday, was just that all the characters they're posed differently, but it's the same characters and they're wearing all the same stuff and painted in the same way. I thought maybe, like when a new GW Starset comes out for 40K, it's like all new characters and sure they're painted in like similar schemes, but different stuff. Whereas with an MCP, they have these iconic characters they want to leverage. And so it's interesting having to deal with that. I don't even know if they're wrong technically, but they have like a different way they have to handle those cool characters as opposed to someone that has kind of more of an open-ended lore. If you're curious what I'm talking about, MCP had a new Starset that came out and all of the characters in it are the same as the last one, but they got new terrain, they got reposes, the model's stats and stuff changed and stuff like that. So it's like the question is that sufficient change enough to have to rebuy the starter set at whatever price point it is? It's not for me to decide though. R. Bennett S. Thank you for the Prime sub, appreciate it. That's wonderful, Krish. I'm so glad that that showed up. What up, Crazy Vate? Thanks for the sub, 6-month streak. Don't have any mail for you today. Well, I thought I was going to, but my wife said she was gonna come at noon and she's not here yet, but she's gonna bring something in that I wanna show you guys that I got from Kickstarter.
Ooh.
It's a cool, fun thing. But for today, as the title of the stream suggests and whatever notification you might have found on your phone, we're gonna paint the rest of my Grand Inquisitor from Shatterpoint. Started him last stream, made some more progress at home while watching Star Wars movies and having a blast. I'll try to finish it up today. It depends how complicated I want to get with the lightsaber effects, but we could probably phone it in. I also printed out some, I forgot, some, what are they called? Decals.
Decals.
I actually don't know if that is the right way to pronounce it.
No, like sane people pronounce it decals, yeah.
Okay, right.
But
of course.
The totally nutsos do say decals.
Alexi, thank you for the Prime sub.
Not just any Alexi. 616.
616. Just framed all my extra language Shatterpoint cards for my wall. Love the art. It feels like a crime to throw the duplicates away. Oh, right, because like, yeah. They send you one of every, like one of 10 languages. Like you get the cards and it's like, even just the one with images on them, like these ones come, right, as duplicates. And it's like, they're the same. Or I think they're the same. Maybe, I mean, these are names, so the names wouldn't be different translations. So yeah, you get so many extra cards whenever you buy a box of anything Shatterpoint. Flawsmith, thank you for the 13 months of subbing so much.
Flawsmith wants to know how you enjoyed playing Shatterpoint live on stream last Thursday.
Yes. I've had some more time to think about it, and there are some small minor problems with Shatterpoint, which is to be expected. It just came out. It can go through a few revisions for the rules, but I really feel like, I'm hesitant to say it, but I feel like Guild Ball is alive and well in Shatterpoint. And the reason that I say that is because I think every war game has like this litmus test where it's like, how hard is it for you to take a unit on the right side of the board and move it over to the left side of the board? If that's, it doesn't mean anything about your game if you can't move it fast, but it implies something about the game. But in Shatterpoint, I had a moment where I needed to have one of my Inquisitors close to another one, and they were on opposite sides of the board. And in like 1.5 activations, I was able to use the rules of the system well enough to get all the way over there. And it felt really good, and I felt super like empowered as a gamer. So it felt really good to play, but like there were some annoying bits, but I'm looking forward to trying it again. Because the models are so large, the board doesn't seem as big as it is. I mean, I still had to move like 20 some inches or something like that, but yeah, it is.
Movement in that game isn't in inches, Scott. It's in abstract tools.
That's true. That's very true. no hobbying today for you because the tropical storm is killing your power. Are we going to try to apply these transfers or not? We certainly could. There is a part of the model that is complete and is ready for transfers. So we could definitely do that.
Rat Payne resubscribed with Prime 6 months and says, how long have you had that wash cup?
Since I was 12.
Disgusting. Viewer buying a cutting mat. That's my favorite notification.
Hell yeah. Thank you, viewer. We appreciate it. By the way, if you buy anything on the merch store during the stream, during the checkout, there's a little box for your name and for a message. You can put your name in, that's on Twitch, and you can also put a little message in, it'll appear on the stream when you buy something on the web store, miniac.co, for some goodies.
And also the International Hacking Collective Anonymous just gifted a sub to Kensai8.
Oh, thank you. Movie talk time? Possibly. Check out my decals first. So, finger for size reference. This is, when you buy custom decal paper, apparently you need to buy either inkjet or laser printer. That makes sense. Anyone get a room for Adepticon? Yes, we did. But
he says we.
Yeah, me and John we got on a phone together and we made it work. This is the laser variety. I tried very hard to get like the highest DPI out of my laser printer. And some of these are a little bit scuffed when you get like down to it, but I think they're okay for how tiny they are.
I mean, like I said when you were showing me these last week, those small ones are definitely better than anything that I can paint, and
right.
Probably better than anything that you can paint.
Yes. Bum, my bets have no power anymore. That's okay. It was a really close game. It came down to it. Like if Curtis didn't just straight up draw Gar Saxon at the literal perfect time, he wouldn't have won right then and there. The game might have been different. And so it came down to it, down to the wire. It was a really good game. That reminds me, there was an issue with me getting the VOD up and I never resolved it. And so it's not up. Good job, me. I forgot that I had to do that. Then I went to Wisconsin for the weekend, and so I couldn't do it over the weekend.
I should have pestered you about it, but I also forgot. So that VOD will be up today as well.
Yes.
It'll be a 2-for-1 VOD day.
Scott got the content creator cheat code. No, I know what to expect, and so I'm waiting at the website, refreshing constantly. I have my credit card information in a notepad document that I copied and pasted into the web form, so I didn't have to type it in. And like I was just, I've done it before. And but seriously though, like the dual queen rooms or twin rooms, whatever they are, sold out in like 30 seconds. So if you weren't on your shit.
I mean, all the rooms sold out within 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So of their allocation.
Yeah. Did I have lots of beer in Wisconsin? No, I didn't. I'm not a huge beer drinker. But this is where we're at with Mr. Grand Inquisitor, and there is a problem with the model, and I'm curious how you guys would solve it. So when you blend on top of very thin details, sometimes you lose the definition of where things start and where they end. And that happened on his little forehead details. I painted them and then realized, oh, those aren't symmetrical, and they're supposed to be symmetrical. But when I was painting, that's where I felt like the bumps were. I was like, okay, I see a bump there, I see a bump there. I did this strategy with my paintbrush where I grazed over the top of the detail, like just lightly, and where I got a little bit of paint, that's where I knew I had raised detail. And obviously, it didn't work out.
Also, Exigent Midnight resubscribed. 19 months.
Oh, thank you, Exigent. Someone asked, damn, those are homemade. Eons of
J at Eons of Battle. New name, who dis?
Is that, okay, I don't know if that's actually Jay.
It is.
Okay, it is. Yeah, those are custom made ones. I found an SVG file online. I did super high DPI image in Photoshop, high DPI mode on my printer, and print them out. I would fudge both details as much as possible. So yeah, there's a couple of options. One, I can just say fuck it and leave it, which is like kind of what I would do if I wasn't like on the internet showing you guys this. Two, I could take an X-Acto knife and just carve the detail off and freehand it. Because like, honestly, that's what I should have done in the first place. Or three, I could take a Tamiya Q-tip and very carefully strip the paint off of his forehead and just redo it. But yeah, that's what I would do. I don't think I can fudge the details with like the sculpt remaining on the model, just because they would like be bumpy and get in the way. But That reminds me, when looking at his face, that we need to paint his eyeballs yellow, I believe. Really missing your videos. Got a video coming out tomorrow. Sorry about taking forever. I'm fucking around with 3D printing and also trying to finish the masterclass courses for my Kickstarter campaign, which is coming along nicely. I make a super thin down oil wash to pan align the sculpted detail and shadow point before painting them, which was nice, yeah. On this one, I was just kind of like wet blending over his forehead, and after a couple layers of wet blending with very fine detail, it kind of just disappears.
You know, I've been, after working on Colossus for 7 million hours, I for whatever reason, I think I might start priming in white now.
Okay.
I've had to do so much building up towards white, and I think that doing a pre-panel line would also be incredibly helpful on something like that, where you can actually see where all the stupid little banded lines on him and things like that are.
Okay.
Because it's hard as hell to see a lot of that stuff when it's all black. I'm old. My eyes don't work so good anymore.
That is valid. I think the way that I see details sometimes is because I'm using like maybe a little bit of a satin black primer, and under a light you can see where things begin and end. But it is difficult. Sometimes.
You are also painting under the mother of all lights.
Yes. Okay, we got some yellow eyeballs in there. I know he's got black pupils in the center of his eyeball, but fuck that. There is not enough eyeball there to paint to really do that well, and that looks good enough.
So we're not into team fuck eyes territory, we're into team fuck pupils territory?
Fuck pupils territory.
Also, Phoenix Greyhound subscribing to Tier 1 for the first time.
Thank you, Phoenix Greyhound. Baka Maru asks, when can we expect to see the next drunk mini painting? You and John are hilarious in those. I'm not sure. You know, it's weird. I have all these ideas for videos that I want to make, and then I get sponsors that then inspire different kinds of videos, and then I forget to make the videos that I want to make. And so, like, for instance, I wanted to make a beginner painting video for the longest time. I kind of just forgot that. I wrote a whole script for that video and then never used it because I haven't like been able to find, like, I don't know, a sponsor that makes sense with it. It's weird. It's kind of a weird thing. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit more highlighting on the main features of the forehead, because since I painted it, it got a little bit less bright. So I'll just add some like little highlights to his brow and whatnot.
Shadow Legends? Twizzle Haps and Spatsnat resubscribing.
Thank you.
Twizzle Haps has 13 months in a row, but 26 total.
Damn.
And Chronic Bear subscribing with Prime for the first time.
Appreciate that, guys. Thank you so much for the support. We're subbing hardcore in the beginning.
For real. We're going to hit that giveaway early. We might do a double giveaway today.
Double giveaway. I would like that. I want to paint some faces that had decent detail, but after I tried to make a nice face blend, I lost almost all definition. The face just turned into a cube. You just lost it all.
I hate that.
I hate that when it happens.
Yeah. When my entire mini just suddenly becomes like the default sphere in Blender.
Yes. Yeah. That's hilarious. I think, you know what, for this head thing, I'm just going to say fuck it. I'm not going to redo anything.
Yeah, see, you're talking about it, but on camera, I literally cannot tell what the hell you're talking about.
If I face it toward you, you can see. Look at his forehead details. Those little things are supposed to be symmetrical on his
Oh, that it's very, very slightly uneven?
It's not slightly uneven. It's pretty egregious.
Hang on, let me full screen projector this on him.
Based move.
Okay, egregious might be a little too far, but yeah, okay.
It's obvious. And it would be obvious in a photo if I took a photo from front on, but I definitely am not going to do that. And then no one will know.
I was commenting on this yesterday at the store. I was like, it's a really bad feeling when the best angle of the mini that you've worked on and painted isn't your intended viewing angle.
Right. Well,
like where it looks good and you're happy with the paint job overall, but your intended viewing angle is not the best angle. Like nope, this other angle unintentionally is better, which means that I fucked up my intended viewing angle somehow.
Yeah.
Also, Weird Bird. Sorry, W3 Erd B33RD. Subscribe with Prime for 10 months.
Don't trust yourself to sneak in a little bit of separation. No, I do, but the thing is from what I can tell, where I painted is where there is sculpted detail. And so if I were to put some separation, like for instance, like in between this curly Q and a little dot, I'd be painting on top of the bump and making the bump lower. Totally an option, but that is where the bump is. So I don't know what to do. I don't know.
I just think that it's dumb that he has these bumps, but, you know.
Yeah.
No, Dan, I'm done with my Colossus. I don't have to trash him anymore. Now I have to trash the other stuff. I definitely wanted to rip my eyeballs out by the end of the night, though.
All right, let me do a little bit more bright highlighting on the other side of his face.
Damn, this mouse pad is gross.
Nasty. I wonder if that is my original heat-on Q-pad.
That is exactly what it is. And I just got a little bit of liquid on it, and decades of skin are coming off.
Yeah, that is...
I am not pleased about this.
That is an old one. Okay. Just kind of bumped up the brow and the lips and the nostrils and the end of the nose and the very middle of the forehead there. Not hard at all. Okay, now, what I was doing at home for like hours is what we're gonna do now. I was just brush blending this like forever. And I wanted to come into the office to do a little bit of airbrush blending, which we're gonna try to do very selectively, just to kind of like finish this off.
Statement said moments before disaster.
I know, right? I cleaned up my airbrush. I actually replaced the nozzle cap, which I didn't want to do. It's fucking $20-some, and also the needle as well. So this is like super nice. But one thing I'm curious about, if you guys have ever done this before, when you pull this needle back, it definitely doesn't go down the center. You see how it is biased toward the bottom of the needle nozzle? I'm curious, can someone grab a wad of airbrush they might have? I can grab one too, and just do this test and tell me if yours does that too. Is it biased toward the bottom of the nozzle cap? Is that normal, or is there something off about with my airbrush? Krish, thank you so much. That is not my first display model, but I'll take the compliment. The Duchess was. But yeah, I'm really proud of the packaging and also how it's arriving to customers. It's good. I'm gonna check my HPCS real quick just to see what's going on with that one.
Have you tried rotating the needle?
I haven't. That would be a good idea though. I should do that. All right, here is this HPCS. Let's see. It looks like it's centered, from what I can tell.
Yeah, I agree. I'm looking at it on the big screen.
Yep. Okay. Well, let's try rotating the needle and see what happens. It's a new needle and a new nozzle cap.
The nozzle.
I don't know why it'd be bent.
The nozzle is now calibrating.
Oh, my elbow just grazed my cell phone, and now weird things are happening.
Please do not touch the nozzle.
Okay, I think we're back. Okay.
Please do not look away from the nozzle.
I purchased a new... How should you paint Dark Angels?
In whatever way brings you joy.
I don't know. All right, rotate.
Rotate.
Oh, I gotta tighten it down again. I'm an idiot.
Tighten.
Tightened.
Still towards the bottom.
Yep. How about another 90-degree turn? Yeah. So I've used this. I've used it when I was airbrushing my vampires off screen. And it worked great. Like, it worked just how I expected an airbrush to work. So I don't think anything's broken. But I was just a little surprised to see that. Fucking Testament, bro. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna get some white ink, and then we are going to
ruin this
model. The one thing I'm concerned about, I have no concern that I'm gonna be able to nail the spot I want to nail. But the thing I'm concerned about is the paint hitting the model and then just little baby speckles just like bouncing off the model and going elsewhere.
Overspray.
Overspray is like I'm hitting a part of the model that I'm not intending to hit originally. It's in my head. I guess both could be overspray.
I think overspray is defined by just any particulate going anywhere.
Yeah, sure.
Because
that's fair.
In insurance terms, you're spray painting your something outside, and then your neighbor's like, bro, you got black spray paint on my siding. They'd call that overspray, even though it's like not even remotely close.
Okay. Xander says, not noticing a bottom bias on my eclipse. It's really hard to tell. Could you pull the needle out and roll it on the table to see if there's any wobbles? Yeah, kind of what I just did, but that's a better way to test if there is some kind of bendage going on. And it seems very good. Again, I just put this in here. And it seems pretty dang good. I don't know.
BSS Terrain says, I once oversprayed my dad's truck. Excuse me? I thought you guys were in Texas, not Alabama.
They can't have trucks in Texas?
Can't be overspraying your dad's anything. It was real windy, though.
They cloned Tyrone and no hard feelings. First one was hilarious. Genius. The second one was weird, but there's a part where the main character gets out of the ocean naked to beat up kids stealing her clothes, and it's hilarious. Okay. That does sound pretty hilarious.
Yeah, consistent bottom bias is the airbrushing out the needle. So maybe the needle seat is off.
Yeah. Maybe it's
just thinking about the different components that interface in different places.
Yeah, like whatever this thing in the bottom is.
Yeah.
It gets screwed in that the airbrush goes through and gets pinched down by this fastening thing.
Or like the carrier piece at the front end of the whole hinge assembly. The thing, it would be on the back side of the cup. It's like the bearing gasket that the needle goes through on.
It has a name. I forget what it's called.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
That's the one part of this thing that I wish I could clean more often.
Yeah, it's like the most difficult thing to get to in the whole airbrush.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do some airbrushing. Check the O-ring in the middle. You can unscrew the whole needle assembly there. You can. It just requires me to take it apart and then.
Iwata disassembly stream.
Yeah. Don't want to have to do that. It is working pretty damn well. At least as well as I can expect it to work. I just happen to notice that one weird thing. All right, this is a very diluted white ink airbrush mixture. Because I'm just trying to soften a blend. This is kind of like what you would see Sergio Calvo or Trent Dennison doing, where they do very rough blending with a brush and then come and smooth it later with an airbrush. The difference here is that I spent a lot more time doing brush blending, so hopefully spend less time with the airbrush. Here's another weird thing. This does not blow air. It does blow air if I loosen this front cap, even just a tiny bit. Sorry, not that front cap, this cap. There we go. So let me get close here. Tighten it down. Do you hear anything? How about now? How about now? How about now? Like, it's almost like this thing is acting as its own Mac valve. And so I don't know why that's happening. What I do when I put these things on is I put beeswax on the ring as a way to form a seal. And that has always worked for me, but maybe it's not working anymore. What pressure? Unscrew the... Yeah, right. That's all it. That's the O-ring gasket. I'm not sure what that is. But here's what I'll do. I'll undo it a little bit, and then it works great. So I don't know. That can't be normal, though, right?
Oh, yeah. No, that's definitely wrong.
Yeah. Okay. It's possible the tip is sealing to the opening. Might have clogged paint. It just got all cleaned. I just cleaned the whole thing. All right. Let's see what we can do here. That's way too high a pressure. Let's just close the nozzle a bit to reduce it. Totally how it's supposed to work.
It's definitely right.
Are we more zoomed in than we normally are? Oh, yeah, we are.
Yeah, you zoomed in for your airbrush stuff, but you're not going to test off of the model first?
No.
Okay.
I'm aiming in the crotch of the cape here. I see paint being deposited, but it's super diluted. It's not really doing anything. Mostly air. Getting a little bit of a spider web right there. You see that? I think I need a little bit more paint. It's difficult when you can't see anything happening until it starts spiderwebbing. And then it's like, too late. Covers eyes. It's possible to tip his ceiling to the opening. I already read that. Gotta show the airbrush confidence. Yeah, that's what it is. Heck, where's my fucking wife? Okay, Xander says that his airbrush, his Eclipse, so HPCS, does have a little bit of a bias toward the bottom. Okay, okay. All right, put another drop of airbrush ink in there. I'm gonna blow out whatever remaining diluted paint was in the cap.
Talk about a blowout.
Blowout. I'm not gonna backflow mix because that is a bad airbrush practice and we're trying to be better here. Speaking while I'm not using ventilation or any kind of respirator. You can't be a winner all the time.
It's just titanium white ink, Scott.
You can't
It's
be
not
a
like
winner.
titanium oxide is bad for you.
Yeah.
Bleached titanium oxide.
It's the tiniest amount.
That's what your kidneys are for.
Am I getting speckling on the model? I don't see any. Speckling on the model? Nope.
Drowning G Gaming. Subscribed with Prime for the first time.
Thank you, Drowning G Gaming. Without looking, I'm guessing the beeswax is sealing the air entrance to the needle, but yeah, impossible to know without breaking it down. So there's a little hole in the bottom of the needle nozzle. Sorry, at the needle. Well, this is, I can't remember which is which, but this middle ring here has a hole in the bottom of it, which is important for the airbrush's operation. I don't think that is clogged, but we can always check. That would definitely screw it up though. The problem with this ink is that the paint that I used, Ultra Kill Titanium White, is fairly glossy. And because it's glossy, it's causing the paint to really spiderweb quite viciously. But you can't really see it a ton because the opacity is so low on this paint. I love the Dead Alive Priest on the subs, yeah. Wait, backblowing is bad? I suppose it is. I don't have any like real world data to back that up, but I guess it kind of makes sense. Still not really doing anything. Let's put another drop of white ink and then maybe a little bit of a drop of center. Just because the white ink bottle, like the dropper doesn't have a lot of fidelity to it. So you kind of get these big old drops of paint.
Big old drops.
Try that first. Isn't Pro Acryl very matte? Possibly.
Yeah. But this isn't Pro Acryl, this is Ultra Acryl.
Ultra Acryl. Look at me. Mixing paint in a different vessel. Like some kind of pro.
A vessel beyond space and time. In, through, beyond.
If you're in a similar situation and you're dealing with a lot of spiderwebbing, the solution, unfortunately, is just to go slowly. It's to apply a tiny amount of paint and then with the air of your airbrush, dry the paint that you apply. And you just kind of just keep doing that over and over and over again until you build up opacity.
Less paint, more air.
Yep.
We appreciate that, Drun and G Gaming. Says, was just stopping by and realized I have my Prime sub, so I thought I'd show some appreciation. Love your videos on YouTube. Long time viewer.
Appreciate it, y'all. Appreciate that.
And if you feel similarly, you should use your Prime sub on us too. That's right, I'm talking to you right now. Or you can be like the kitten and just gift subs to the rest of the community. Pillar of the community, the kitten. A good use of 10,000 channel points.
At the moment, I'm kind of just spraying the whole cape with this white ink. Just because, well, that's incredibly overexposed. Sorry. You guys can't even see what I'm fucking doing. Let me fix that. Still overexposed. No, don't do that, please.
Caterpillar. Ooh, I like that. All right, so who did get rooms at Adepticon? Scott did? Anyone else? Because the internet outrage indicates that no one did.
So you know the internet always outrages about Adepticon rooms. Happen literally every single year.
Yeah. Not in the main venue.
Omega Krill.
Not from a Jedi. Got it at the satellite.
All right. This is depressingly not working at all. What I'm going to do is I'm going to help with spiderwebbing, add a little bit of AK Interactive Ultra Matte to my ink, make the highlight matte, and then I'm going to add even more ink just to see. Again, we're not seeing really anything happening. So, I mean, I am seeing the model become wet, but it's not like really doing anything.
You know, that was something that I noticed while working on Colossus 2 that I was actually going to ask you about, Scott. I really liked how it looked more so I had a near disaster, and I put some paint in a bad spot, and it was a big blob of titanium white, and so he instantly went to get in my paint pot, and I avoided a catastrophe. But I pulled him out, and I was like, I like how this looks more when it's wet.
Yeah. So what's your question?
Why? Why do I like this more?
Have you ever... Well, probably not. The reason you like it more is because the paint is wet, it looks satin and glossy, and when paint is wet and satin and glossy, it just looks... Actually, there's more contrast. The darks are darker, the brights are brighter, your colors are going to be more saturated.
Yeah, but why is it that when you paint with gloss colors, it doesn't feel the same?
It's going to look the same, but gloss colors are just harder to work with in general. just because they don't have a tooth. They don't stick down. They smear around a lot. But yeah, like for gaming models, like a mid satin varnish right at the end makes everything just pop super nicely. So I recommend that, and I do that with Tester's Dull Coat whenever I can remember to do that. All right.
So aside from watching all the Star Wars movies, what else did you watch since last stream?
I don't think I watched anything. Let's see. I did review everything finally. Apologies if this is the same list I said last time. I watched... Okay, Star Wars. Yeah, I already said this, I think. I watched Moloch, Willy's Wonderland, The Night Eats the World, The Bees, and 8mm. I watched like 8 or 9 movies when everyone was gone. Any LTT videos? Ha! No, but I've watched a lot of Gamers Nexus videos. Hey, I can see things happening. Gamers Nexus has this really cool series where they review pre-built PCs they bought from manufacturers under an alias, just to test what they're like and test their customer service. And I would love to do that for our industry. I just don't know what would be the right thing to do that with. I don't think there's an applicable thing, unfortunately. There we fucking go. Everyone in chat's like, what's the difference? Well, I mean, maybe you can see it now. There's significantly less brushstrokes. We transitioned into that blue, like, way nicer. We're getting a little bit of overspray on the boot, but you're not gonna see it. And honestly, it looks like a little bit of a blue sheen on the boot. So I'm not dying here. Okay. Very nice. All right, I'm happy with that. For the inside of the cloak, it looks really nice. You think Jay's 2 cents also did something like that? Yeah. Just so you guys know, for your own practical use, I did get some little bit of bounce on here. Not too big of a deal. I don't mind it too much. In a more like in a different situation, you might want to put some tape on there. Or what I like to do when I do things like this is use saran wrap, kitchen saran wrap, because you can sneak it into all kinds of nooks and crannies and literally wrap your main model in saran wrap and then target the cape, because the cape is such an extraneous detail. But because I didn't really care that much, and you're not really gonna see it too much, and I can just paint the boots black again. Like, who cares? All right, we'll take a look at the back, which is much rougher. And this part of the cape is just like kind of hanging out there, so it's not too much of a concern. Kind of do a similar thing here. Try to smooth some of these blends that I'd started at home. Zoomed in too much. The white looks really good. What up, Miniatures Den? How you doing? I should probably watch LTD. My husband talks about it a lot. Well, you can't right now.
I mean, you can watch.
Sure, you can. Yeah. Poor Linus.
Looking forward to the state fair, Scott?
I'm looking forward to it because my wife loves it, but I wouldn't go if she didn't exist. But yeah.
Just gotta go in with the right kind of plan. I know I gave this speech last year too.
Did you? What's your plan?
Don't go to the animal barns; they suck. Go at 8 in the morning. Leave at noon or 1. Avoid all crowds.
How do you avoid all crowds? Oh, just by going at that certain time. Okay.
None of the days get crowded until like 11. So if you're leaving around lunchtime, it's golden. Only a few things that aren't food are events that are worth going to at the fair. If you have a out-of-towner with you, you have to show them the Butterheads. It's very important. If you don't, just going to the 2 art shows, the crop art and the regular art show, are like the 2 things that I feel are important.
I would say if you're with an out-of-towner, it's incredibly important to go on the ride Ye Old Mill. LTT has been canceled. No, they haven't. I wouldn't call it that necessarily. Well, I mean, I guess it depends what your definition of canceled is, but they're taking a week off of their schedule to address some quality concerns.
Yeah.
Fried Oreos.
Yeah, I don't go on any of the rides that are at the Midway because that's not really part of the fair.
Okay. Go on Ye Old Mill.
No.
Please. It's so worth it. It's the oldest ride at the fair, and it's so fucking great.
I thought the oldest ride was technically the giant slide.
I don't know. I don't know what they define as ride, but someone told me that Ye Old Mill is the oldest one. I don't know.
I would not doubt it. I have been on it. I just don't need to do it ever again.
Ye Old Mill makes me fear decapitation. Yeah, it's kind of that alludes to why I think it's a fantastic ride.
I mean, that's why Excalibur is sweet at the theme park formerly known as Valley Fair.
Because it's so jank.
Yeah, old wood roller coasters are way scarier.
Yeah.
Even if they don't do anything bold, it's just like, man. This could explode at any moment.
Yeah, that's the general excitement with Ye Old Mill.
Yeah, exactly. I cried on Excalibur when I was 10. Yeah, that sounds about right.
All right, I'm actually super happy with like the softness of the white highlight. I'm gonna do a little bit of brush blending with that curl right there, and some of these upper ones up here. I'm gonna hit that armor panel as well with the white edge highlight, and then we'll start doing some metals, which there are very few of on the model.
And you'll have to repaint the lightsaber, obviously.
I didn't paint it at all, so I wasn't. I painted this front half kind of. I was like, okay, what if I do like a glowing effect where it glows at the inside but not the outside, which I know is not how lightsabers work, but
I was about to yell that.
It's easier to do that than it is anything really else on this skinny little tube. So, I don't know. That's my method. Although I think I mentioned this last time, I have seen, I joined the Shatterpoint Facebook group, and I've seen people take these Inquisitors, and they will glue on very thin styrene that represents the motion of the lightsaber. So if I can show you the art for these baddies, which apparently I can't, they're over there. But you know how like when you see motion blur when you move a lightsaber, they make that effect in real life. So pretty cool. And I have a fun idea for how to do it in a little bit of a better way than what I've seen so far, and that's to use transparent plastic as opposed to opaque plastic, because you can really fade out that effect toward the edges. How the fuck? People put LEDs in these Shatterpoint lightsabers? I do not believe you. No fucking way. That would be amazing. Wife? Wife, did you bring that bag? You did not. That's okay. The one in the computer room that had chargers and batteries in it and stuff. That's okay. Not important. We'll just do it. We'll do a different mail time next week. You're totally fine. Yeah, they use conductive paint and acrylic rods to do it. Conductive paint and acrylic rods. Oh, so they replace the lightsaber with a different thing?
Conductive paint.
Conductive paint. What would that do?
I mean, like instead of running wires.
I'm so interested. I really want to see this. The Inquisitor sabers are so cool. You have to ignore the spinning them over their heads and flying away like helicopters. I don't mind. I don't mind the, what is it, the fifth sister or the whatever one it is, where she's got that kind of cool, like, no, it's Reva. Reva? Reva? Reva. She's got a cool pose. I dig it.
Well, I need some conductive paint now.
I know, that sounds really cool. I would love to see an example of that. That one has the most, yeah. Amber is checking out our fruit fly traps. There's one by the trash and then one next to Alex's desk.
Because Alex attracts fruit flies.
Yes.
Truly a disgusting creature.
I want to shock the fuck out of myself by touching Grievous's sabers at the same time. Spread legs everywhere. Oh, they actually... Okay, so in the TV show, it's Star Wars Inquisitors, according to Jay from Eons of Battle. They literally fly around like helicopters, spinning their lightsabers. Man, that is very lame. That is really weird. I don't know about that.
Oh my god, Rufus, you just reminded me. I have a pocket full of nuts right now.
The weapons are a lot cooler than the characters? I don't know about that. Do they do that in Obi-Wan too? They fly around with their fucking lightsabers? Someone tell me that it looks cooler than it sounds. All right. Get some paintbrush out. Just paintbrush action. For squirrels? Yeah, it sounds like a squirrel thing.
Oh my god, this is so stupid.
Is it happening?
I'm watching a clip of it right now.
Okay, so it's as stupid as it sounds.
I won't put it in the VOD because last time we had you react to 30 seconds of a YouTube thing. But here you go. I'll just throw it up on your screen real quick. Is that positioned correctly?
A little bit higher. A little bit higher. You're just making the screen bigger.
Well,
let's go to the right a tiny amount.
Hang on.
No, it's not anywhere.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm
Okay.
just gonna do this. How about now?
Hit Windows key arrow up. There we go. Now do it. Spacebar. All right, what do we got? Whoa, dude! There they go.
It's so fucking stupid.
Okay, I kind of get the design of the saber now, though.
It's ruined for me, is what it is.
Ruined. I think.
Oh, and one of them, their lightsaber just malfunctioned and exploded, and they fell to their death. So it is definitely the lightsaber propelling them around, not force powers. This is crap.
You know,
Star Wars is dead.
I actually, now that I see it, I think it looks cooler than it sounds, but it's still lame. But yeah, that's very interesting. Thank you for sharing, Jay. The death of Star Wars. Relax, bro.
Yeah, you're right. Star Wars died long before this.
Have you ever gotten... Okay. Have you ever gotten bad 8404s? I think maybe at some point I might have ordered one on Amazon and it was really disappointing. But ever since that happened, I buy like 5 at a time off of Blick. That being said, I haven't done it in a very long time. I bought them in bulk like 2 years ago. Haven't needed to replace them for a while. And then recently I got sent some other brushes from a different manufacturer that have been working fine, so I've been using them. So I haven't done that in like 2 years, so I don't really know.
Cheek frame.
What's happening right now?
I freezed it so you could see how much of the frame is your cheek. Froze it? Freezed it. Froze it.
I mean, if it's not blocking the model, I don't really care.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
People care about seeing my cheek?
It's a lot of cheek.
A lot of cheek. You guys like a little bit of cheek, I know you.
Feeling a bit cheeky.
A little bit cheeky, yeah. Okay. Good enough. We're the back of the
You're right,
mouth.
Mike Genie. It's a sponsorship opportunity. Scott could get a big cheek tattoo that looks and reads properly from this weird oblique angle.
Yes, this is a advertising opportunity.
Yeah. We definitely can't see what you're paying. Oh, wait, now I can. Okay.
Oops. The tiniest speck of black. Ugh, whatever. Okay, metal. Let's get everyone's favorite metal. AK Interactive, baby. Okay, we're gonna go with a dark one. We'll do this. And then this. Okay, I don't know how these guys look in real life, in the TV show or anything. So I'm just gonna paint the metal parts how I want to. If I'm getting white speckles, is my PSI too high? No. Either your PSI is not high enough or your paint is not thin enough. One of the two. And I want to note that you could have a high PSI and there needs to be something on your airbrush that you need to adjust. Also, I also want to note that certain airbrushes constrict the airflow more than others. So if you have 20 PSI on a hardened Steenbeck, that is not the same, like the air pressure out the front of the nozzle is not the same as on a Iwata. Like they're just different. That's not a bad thing, but it's important to be aware of when comparing your PSI to others.
It's not even, you can't even make the statement on an Iwata because there's so many different types and nozzle sizes of Iwata as well.
Yes.
You know, if you have an HPCS, you can't use the same settings as an HPBH.
Boom, I'm back.
I didn't like that.
I just got the We Are Brave squad pack for Shatterpoint. I hope there are more Phantom Menace love. I hope there isn't. Sorry, Jay.
I mean, I want that that Darth Jar Jar pack.
What I want is Kylo Ren's Knights of Ren. I think that would be so cool. I would love to see some Knights of Ren. That was like the best thing to come out of the reboot. The freaking Knights of Ren. They're so cool. Let's get that painted cam up there.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Little metal buckle plate. It's got some more like kind of panel-ish things as well. A bunch of buttons on this thing. I'm gonna paint over all of it and then I'll paint the buttons later. That'll be a good opportunity to add some more red on there. Maybe other classic Empire colors like a nice ochre or something like that. Okay. My plan was to paint this like circular thing. With silver and then wash it, but I feel like I'd rather paint it black and then just paint the silver rings. Seems easier. See, man. I also want to paint his earmuffs with silver. You don't see much detail, you're right. I wonder if the Knights of Ren have been fleshed out a little bit more. Do you have dedicated separate brush for metallics? No, I don't. I am very dubious of that thought that metallic paints ruin your brush, and if they do, I don't know. It just seems like maybe they would in like at scale, but we use such small amounts of paint that unless you're really like going crazy with a base coating brush and like base coating large vehicles with like a size 6 brush, I just can't really see that happening. Like if you're using bad brush practices, it's gonna ruin a brush no matter what kind of paint you use. So
very true.
I'm not sure about that. I don't know how to test it necessarily. Okay, that's looking good. I suppose I need to finish painting the lightsaber before I paint the silver part, so we'll do that next.
Xander Zone wants to know if you got that alternate head that you got from Skullforge painted yet.
I didn't. So, okay. Like I said previously, I don't like the Fifth Brother's head. And that's like his canonical head. Like, it's what he looks like in the comic book, in the Obi-Wan TV show. It's how the model's sculpted. And I thought what I found was an alternate head design for him. But what I found was a head for the Sixth Brother, a different character. And so it feels sacrilegious to use a different character's head to represent a different person. Like maybe at some point a Sixth Brother model might come out, and then I'll be like sad that I used his head on one guy. And so I'm trying to figure out if I should just get over the fact that I don't like his helmet and just use the actual one, because that's what the character looks like, or use a generic helmet. That's always an option as well. I don't really know. Painting with any paint, right? Exactly. I use the same brushes for literally everything except super watery washes that I'm going to heavy soak. That makes sense. I don't use my round brushes with metallics, but I will use art dry brushes with metallics. Okay, so that kind of, I guess that makes sense. Sounds like a problem for future, Scott. That's kind of, yeah, it's kind of true. Kind of true. Okay, I want this to be like really, really bright. And so I'm going to...
Well, here's how you get it really bright, Scott. You do this.
What's that?
Here's an example of the LEDs on these figures.
Okay, so they are replacing the lightsaber.
Yeah.
This is the conductive paint methodology?
Apparently. This was sent to me via Pansy Bear from the Facebook group.
It's really cool.
I think more impressive than the lightsabers is actually Boba Fett's jetpack. And I'm really happy. Hang on, I can just do this. I think that's actually super sweet.
That is really sweet.
Or Django, or whoever it is. Whatever.
It's hard to know.
They're all Mandalorians, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I might do a similar thing with the airbrush where I bust out some fluo red ink and just try to, fix that blend without just, taking forever. This side is much harder to do that on. And this would require masking the lightsaber in a way.
You're not going to do any OSL?
I don't know.
I mean, that would be the cheater approach. It's just like, yeah, I'm just going to take a little bit of airbrushing and overspray a nice little stripe across. Easy.
Yeah, I suppose I could do that. And just say that the overspray is OSL, but I just feel like I don't trust myself to make it look good while also trying to paint the lightsaber. So I don't know. That's a valid approach, though.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jay. It is kind of weird that there are no factions for Shatterpoint. It's just kind of random character packs. Yeah, it's weird because it's like it's both a selling point and also sort of a detraction. Because if you're really like a lore hound and really like the setting, it just makes it all feel kind of jumbled. But if you just are like, yeah, Star Wars is cool, and I can play a Sith guy and a Jedi guy, that's neat.
I would never do that. I know I kind of did that with the game I played, but I only do that because I want a stormtrooper, and there aren't any yet. And so I'm just imagining in my head that I'm using a stormtrooper and not a clone trooper.
Yeah, it's also, I would say that's sort of close enough because you're using sort of generic stuff.
Right. But I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, you might be right, Rufus Kid. Way too many clones. Yeah, but there aren't enough clones of the clones that I want, Jay.
There are a lot of clones.
There are, but all I want is the clone commanders, the commandos from Republic Commando, the video game. I want that box. All 4 of them.
Oh my gosh. Freaking contacts. Fucking with my eyeballs. Okay. I did when I ran this stream last time, I talked about wanting to do like a comic book style OSL on like the edges of armor and stuff. But like looking from this angle, it would just like totally spill on everything on this model.
Yeah.
On the backside, and it's just like I don't really want to do that.
Well, Deathspawn Mace Windu just came out, so all you have to wait for now is Yoda.
Yoda.
Coronary Jump just resubscribed 6 months. Yo, we painted minis up in here?
Whoop! Absolutely. Am I using disposable contacts? I am. I have daily use ones that I use while painting and filming. That's pretty much the only use. Might occasionally wear them.
It's true. Illusionary Voice is correct.
Play sports, something like that.
3 away from the giveaway.
Nice. Would I blend some orange or yellow into the blade? I probably wouldn't. I like it staying pure red, which means getting a little bit pink. And I don't mind that. I think it makes it look, once I add a little bit of fluo ink on here to kind of blend it out a little bit, it's gonna be the thing that makes it look like it's glowing, that pink color.
Deathspawn just gifted 5 subs, which means it's time to do a giveaway.
Thank you, Deathspawn. Appreciate it. Yeah, so we do giveaways every 50 subs here, and this one is going to be a storage box from Element Games that comes laser cut that you can use for hobby goodies, and also a Malifaux miniature. Let's show it off on stream. And honestly, we should have done that earlier anyways. And then that's just a box. Who cares?
Yeah, it's MDF.
It's a tray for storage, and we're giving away this model today. This is Nakima. She's a cool Malifaux miniature, and there's the render of it. Honestly, she's kind of big too. Like she would fit in the world of Shatterpoint, not like aesthetically, but size-wise, she would. So we're giving away this stuff today to one lucky viewer. Don't have to be a sub, but we appreciate it if you do sub. But you gotta be here. You gotta respond when you win in the next 15 minutes or however long Evan sets the giveaway for.
Yeah. Give me a second.
How do you feel about no painted models on Malifaux boxes? We hate it. Shouldn't be allowed. It should be illegal.
Bavox.
It should be illegal for any company to do that. IMO. Like me. I do that.
What are we talking about?
Not having the real painted model on the packaging for a mini. I have to change the packaging that I use for my models in order to accomplish that set.
I see.
So I use fancy screen printing and stuff, but doesn't work if you want to have actual colored pictures of the model.
Should embrace the 90s and do holograms.
Ooh.
All right, so starting the giveaway. It's going to run for 15 minutes because that's a good number. Exclamation mark moist to enter. But here are the key takeaways. Don't enter if you live in an area that doesn't allow you to enter. If you've won a giveaway, since we started the no double giveaways policy, so that's about 2 months now, you're not eligible, and you must be here at the end of the giveaway. So if you ask us if you're in an area that allows you to enter giveaways? I can't answer that question because I don't know. But you should know. You should know your local laws.
He's not doing the thing yet.
No, the real thing happens at the end of the giveaway.
He's just being a good law-abiding citizen right now.
Something like that. I solve practical problems. So yeah, if all that stuff sounds good, exclamation mark moist in the chat, just like all these other people typing it. Enter that giveaway, and it'll end in 14 minutes.
My leg. Yeah, whatever.
Snacks in the snack station.
Oh, we have, I wish Alex was still here. We had a fruit fly problem. And so we just took all the food away.
Fruit flies don't care about nuts.
Yeah, they probably don't, but I think Alex is just going for the nuclear option.
Believe me, I know about the fruit fly problem. I think I was the first one to say anything about it.
Yeah.
I was like, what's up with all these damn flies around here?
Goddamn flies.
Zipping around my camera.
All right. You know, honestly, I probably don't need to use an airbrush. I'm just going to get that fluo ink, and we'll just do it manually.
Get that there fluo wink from the paint rack, which I didn't get a chance to get camera of.
Too bad. Too sad.
It's all right, the camera exposure and the focus wrong anyway.
This is true. I didn't fix it. El Shalafe came just in time. Any new additions to the Soulblight army? I did assemble Lauka Vi, but I didn't paint her yet. But no real new additions to the Soulblight army, other than maybe these guys that I'm working on right in front of me. The Graveguard.
Soulblight.
Soulblight. All right.
Got that there trail mix. Got some peanuts.
Wait, you have food? Oh, I bet chat loves that. I'll tell you what. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the character that I want for Shatterpoint.
You want
Hank Hill.
Hank Hill? Yeah, okay. All right, this paint or ink, this fluo red ink from Dollar and Rowney is very diluted, so I'm going to literally use it straight out of the bottle, not even dabbing it off on my paper towel here. I'm just running it down the brush, the saber toward the dark end. And I mean, like pretty much right away, that is kind of doing what I wanted to do. Once I determine where like the actual metal guard is for the blade, I'll do like a little speck of white right at the source, right where it starts. But otherwise, yeah, this is definitely the call to not use an airbrush. I don't care so much about the one on the back side of the model. Not super important. You can't really see it very well. All right.
Hank Hill head on Fifth Brother. Make it happen.
Hank. Is that Mike Genie saying that?
No, that's Xander Zone.
Xander Zone. That's some shit right there. Damn it, Bobby. That airbrush ain't right. I'll tell you what. All right, and just like with the detail on the forehead, there is some type of protrusion that like actually goes onto the blade itself, and I can no longer see it after applying, 3 layers of paint. So I'm gonna have to guess.
There's some kind of protrusion.
Yeah, like this black part is gonna go down onto the saber. You can kind of see a little bit of
ladies.
Detail. So let's see here.
Some kind of protrusion.
Okay, relax, Evan. Relax. I think this is what it's supposed to look like. It's supposed to be long on the sides and short in the very center. makes sense why these lightsabers are shaped the way they're shaped.
Totally seen this before. Well, this doesn't exclusively use magnet or conductive paint. This also uses magnet wire. Here's a guide on how to add lightsabers to your Legion minis. And that would be harder than adding them to Shatterpoint, because Legion is a regular miniature scale. Thank you, Flawsmith. That's true. The Legion minis do have a more out-of-scale head and hands, but I don't think they're bigger. But the Legion sabers themselves might be thicker. I really want my Jabba's Palace Force Pack. Not the heroes. I want like just the background characters. The Twi'lek guy. This is Iwanawanga. Iwanawanga. I also want some of those pig dudes. Yeah. And I want Cantankerous Shrew, the most memorable Star Wars character. No, but those are cool too. No, Cantankerous Shrew is Jabba's little imp-like pet that goes. Oh yeah, Salacious Crumb. Excuse me, not Cantankerous Shrew. Same thing. Salacious Crumb. Whatever. And then I also want that Cloud City pack because I want Lobot, and I want Lando, and I want Boba Fett with Frozen Han. Because then you could like throw Frozen Han at people. Because he's on like the levitating tray, so it could be like just like you push him in a straight line and he coasts, knocks into people, knocks them prone. Can't hear Scott. Did Scott's mic die?
No, I muted myself when I was
doing the hairdryer, and then you unmuted. You didn't unmute yourself?
Yes.
Disgusting. Yeah, it's a terrain feature that you can move around, but also you can throw into people and it knocks them around.
I like that idea.
Yeah, the Cloud City guards, yeah, whatever.
I forget what they look like.
I'm sure they have stupid helmets.
Are they good guys? They're good guys, right?
Oh no, they look like they work at McDonald's. That's right. It's not my fault. I didn't mute Scott.
It's my fault. Sorry, chap.
4 minutes left on that giveaway. Exclamation mark moist to enter, but only enter if you're in a location that allows it. Giving away a large Malifaux miniature and some Element Essentials transportation trays. RG Hanamic, subscribe to Tier 1. 8 months on an 8-month streak.
Thank you, RG Hanamic.
Honomic?
I think it's Hanomic.
Hanomic?
If I were a betting man, I'd guess it was Hanomic.
Maybe it's on Amic. That would be pretty funny to have Spawn. If the only version of Chewbacca you could get was Rey. Rey and Chewbacca, no Han. Yeah, Christmas special pack would also be good.
Okay. Alrighty then. Let's paint some of these little LED thingies on his belt. And then we'll put on some decals.
OSW, no, I don't get to play games. I just sit here and watch.
That's not true. He's lying to you.
Well, I haven't had a chance to play Shatterpoint. I also don't own Shatterpoint. That's getting bent for a few minutes. Yeah, Kratzberg, like a Moss Eisley pack would be pretty funny. There's where the Stormtroopers are going to come from. It's going to be the guys that get Jedi mind tricked at the beginning of A New Hope. And then you got the guy who gets his arm cut off. And the band from...
The Cantina? No.
The Cantina. What else? Greedo. Yep. That would be the pack. That would be the hero in the pack for sure.
I thought I could get away without recess shading these little LEDs, but I think it looks like trash. So I will try to do a little bit of outlining.
A bunch of different R unit astromechs. So it's because like aren't there like 3 of them on Queen Amidala's ship at the beginning of Phantom Menace? Like R2 is the lone survivor when they're fixing the shields as they're escaping. I don't know. I haven't watched that movie in a long time. Yeah. Hang on. I just sent him a message. He's also supposed to get something else.
Oh, he is.
Yeah.
What other guy?
Huddleston has his mini's been sitting around for 7 years.
7 years.
I think he's supposed to. We're supposed to send Huddleston a Duchess for some sort of trade you guys did, right?
No, that was a different person.
That's a different one. Then never mind. I'm wrong. That's right. I should have remembered that.
Okay, I got a little glowy yellow and red LEDs on his belt now. Not glowy, but whatever, I painted them. Okay, that's good enough. Miles done. Other than the base, which I have plans for all of them. I want this to be this like part that's like normally painted like a dry and arid desert. I want that to be like a marble floor. And I want to do it with black. I want to do it with rose gold, gold, and maybe gray. We'll see. So I want to do like a sparkly marble floor that's mostly black with strains of gold and rose gold and maybe another color or two. And then this I want to be, I think, metallic, these elements. I don't know, because other bases have more of this detail, and so it's more prevalent. So maybe I want something cooler than that, but I don't know. But now let's try the decals out. So let's make some space here. Pick an appropriately sized one and a few spots for it to go. Oh, I hate it when I do that. Oh well, whatever.
That was weird.
Let's get some testers.
All right, I'm picking a winner.
Speaking of winner, chat.
Oh, hang on. First, let me go to the paint rack cam. That doesn't look good. Picking winner. Illusionary voice. Regular chatter. Illusionary voice. You are our winner. Sound off in chat. Holy monkey balls.
Chilled monkey brains. Get back in that paint cam, bro. Okay, we got
White.
these decals. I'm gonna cut out the smallest one just so I can kind of gauge how big it is next to the detail I want to put it on. I would love to put it on his shoulder, if I can manage, but that is pretty small, so we'll see.
While Scott cuts out, can't spell, these decals, I'm gonna do the bit. I am sending you what I am saying in text. I need your name, your address, your email address, and any special shipping instructions. By doing the bit, I make everyone feel included in the winning of the giveaway.
Chat, do you feel included?
And all they can dream of is having this stupid bit done to them.
I'm trying to remove as much as possible of the decal just because it's going to be transparent film on top of this thing.
I mean, you're going to varnish the whole Mini anyway.
Yeah, I just don't want it to like have to... Okay, anyways, let's see if this will work. I need some tweezers. Very nice.
People are saying they feel included.
Nice. Okay, I want to put this on his shoulder. I would say that's looking doable. How about his chest? Less doable. Middle of the chest, doable, but looks stupid. All right, so I think the shoulder one is a go.
Are you going to put a really big one on his cape, too?
I want to put a big one on his cape, yeah.
An interlocking pattern of them?
No. We're not going to do that. All right, I need some water. I'm going to put this decal in this cup, soften it up a bit. Now let's figure out which one is gonna work for his cape. Probably any of the big ones will just work just fine.
Mike, after I set up the next giveaway, that's how you get me to do the bit again. Is we just do another giveaway. No repeats. This isn't syndication. Speaking of, I have to pick the next giveaway.
I would also love to paint the terrain like Imperial terrain. I think that'd be really cool.
Definitely see nothing but the back of your head right now.
Okay, I'm just chopping off a decal.
On Decals. Oh man, this box is getting pretty slim. What's this?
Those are models for a modern war style miniature war game, I believe. It's from that one company, Righteous Falcon Games. Oh my God.
In Maryland.
Okay, so while this soaks in some water, I'm actually gonna get some more water and just make sure I'm really soaking it. Ran out of water. But while we're doing that, we'll take a look at Micro Soul.
Thought he was gonna say my rectum.
We're gonna do that too. We're gonna just turn into a doctor real quick here. Do a little
Dr. Scott.
Do a little sigmoidoscopy, a little colonoscopy. No, we're not gonna do that. But there are two products for decals that are pretty standard.
Sammy D, before you go deep on that, Sammy D wants to know, what's tomorrow's YouTube video going to be on? The glib response is, it's going to be on YouTube, but I think he means, what is the topic of tomorrow's video?
Yeah, tomorrow's YouTube video is me visiting a model and laser cut MDF terrain manufacturer, touring their factory and explaining to you how all of that works from a technical standpoint, how models are made, how laser cut terrain is made, looking at all the tools and stuff like that. Like, we'll actually be in a factory talking about it. So it's pretty cool. I love that kind of content. And I hope you guys do as well. Okay, so we have Micro Soul and Micro Set. And according to the packaging, Micro Set is setting solution for decals, softens decals, improves the adhesion, and also can be used as a decal remover. Okay? Micro Soul says setting solution for decals, softens decals to conform to irregular surfaces for a painted on look. I'm not really sure. I think they're supposed to be used together. At least on the Micro Soul instructions, it tells you to brush on Micro Set. Part one of this two-step system.
Set first, then soul.
Yep.
Wait. No, use the soul set. Okay, hang on. No one agrees.
Show the paint cam. It says what to do on the bottles.
Yeah, that's totally going to be legible. Oh, hey. I can almost read that.
Hey, viewer. Side up.
It has an actual name. I can't read it.
Sid October.
Yeah.
Thank you for buying a cutting mat on the web store. We appreciate it. Yeah, so set first and then soul. And then additional soul. But again, this is a really, smooth surface. I don't think it's really going to be necessary to be this...
Set, then let it dry, then use soul to soften anything that's sticking up.
Yes, that seems...
Sure, that makes sense. All right, chat. I'm about to set up the next giveaway target. I got two options for you. I have a Righteous Falcon Games pack. Or it's a gamer. I have a Righteous Falcon pack that includes a bunch of monster minis and some buildings. Is this game like Rampage? Do you remember those games, Scott?
Oh God, what am I doing? Water is taking paint off of this model.
Uh-oh. Taking ink off the model?
Well, it's getting lighter, which shouldn't happen because I put white ink on. But you see, you see this? Maybe you don't see this. Oh no, you see that. You see
that. Definitely see that.
Interesting. Okay, at a certain point, it stops coming off.
Huh. Okay.
Might have been just a little layer of dustiness. I don't know. That's kind of weird.
All right, so that's option one. The other option is I have one of these the cool Assassin's Creed figures from the CMON Assassin's Creed role-playing game. It's a bigger scale. It's kind of neat. It's resin too. It's actually like nice.
It is really nice. Okay. I'm gonna dry that area real.
I'm gonna put up a poll. Did you mute your mic or did I mute your mic?
Got the decal ready to go. I'm gonna grab some micro set here. I'm gonna put it down in the area where I want it to go. Something is happening that is bizarre with the paint. I don't know what it is, but I'm not concerned about it. And with it wetted, I'm going to then use a brush to put down my decal, smooth it out a little bit. This bubble. It's giving me grief, man. What the fuck? Pop, dude. Okay, Jesus. Should be able to move the decal around a little bit. If it's giving you grief with a paintbrush, which seems to be the tool most people prefer, you can try to slide it a bit with a more sturdy tool, like an airbrush needle or an awl.
Or Q-tip.
Or Q-tip is a much better idea. Thank you, Evan.
Yeah. To me, Q-tips were like born for this.
Yes, this is actually what they're amazing for. So, if you didn't know this, to me it makes several kinds of Q-tips, but they make this one like this, which is very pointy, and it's perfect. It's perfect for this. Okay, so let's read the rest of the instructions on Micro Sol. It says to apply part 1 on the model where a decal is going to be applied, then dip the decal in water, bam, 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 bam. Soft brush, and then apply the Micro Sol on the decal, being careful to not move the decal. Okay. It doesn't say anything about waiting for the micro set to dry, and so I'll just do it right now. And then I may come back and actually hit this area with a little bit of blue paint, just to make it seem like the decal is following the shading of the cloak, just to really kind of blend it in with what's going on. I'm gonna do that very sparingly though. I want to just do it like kind of like the upper left corner. Okay, so not waiting for the set to dry, I'm just going to immediately apply the sole. Again, this probably isn't necessary because of how smooth this area is. This is mostly for like applying decals to like large robots with like panel lines and rivet holes that you're trying to like maintain. This seems unnecessary, but maybe it'll soften the edges of the decal so that you don't see where the decal begins and ends. It might be worth like varnishing before applying this, because I bet this has some kind of like solvent in it that could, it could tear up some paint. Strangely, this is happening again. It's almost like it happens and then it dries and then I can do it again. I don't know what this is, this effect. It's kind of bizarre. Okay, so that's gonna dry for a little bit. I mean, that looks gnarly. I fucking love that. Little cheeky logo in the bottom corner of the cloak. All right, now let's put one on his shoulder. I'm really excited about this one. Okay. Let's do the same thing. we'll get the decal loaded up on a brush first, and then we'll put some.
Muzz660 says it will tear up paint.
I mean, it isn't. Again, that stuff dried, and now I no longer see those brush strokes anymore. So I have no idea what that's doing. But yeah.
Do you guys see sparkles in the video stream?
Sparkles. Yeah. No. I do as well.
That's weird.
This was a thing before, and I can't remember why it was happening.
It's probably not good.
Never won before. That's not an issue. Just wanted to haunt before typing moist again. Evan will always let you know when I type moist, but we have 47 more subs to go to the next giveaway.
Yep, and the next giveaway is going to be the pack of monsters from Righteous Falcon Games.
That's what chat picked?
Yep, not by a lot. A lot of people were pretty excited by Assassin's Creed guy. The Righteous Gemstones? That's not right.
Here's a question for all the decal pros out there. Do you guys know if I have to use one side of the decal or not? Or if I can use the back or the front? Because it's obviously transparent and symmetrical for this design. So I actually can't tell with this ultra tiny one what side of the decal it is.
I have the rest of his stuff if you need it. I know it's somewhere, yeah. Hang on.
I'm going to use maybe the slightly bigger decal. Just because the design is a little bit clearer.
Okay.
Is what, Evans?
What? I'm just talking about how much better these Pilot G2s are than the regular pen.
What did chat say? If you use it to print down their... I'd imagine only on the print side, no? Did I gloss varnish the paper after printing it out? No, it comes shiny.
Shiny!
Shiny! You use it print down there, ways to dissolve the plastic and just leave the ink. Typically you want to use the side that was the paper backing. Right. Yeah. That makes sense. I think I'm gonna use the bigger one. It fits still. It's gonna wrap around the shoulder more. And also the design is better. Also, I had a hard time figuring out if my inkjet printer had a higher DPI, which is like a resolution for the printer, than my LaserJet one. It's very confusing how printers report DPI and PPI. My decal sheets have glue that helps it stick if you do it print side up.
Yeah, I have the most unhelpful answer possible. I just did a little bit of looking. Some of them have a direction and some of them don't.
Interesting. Okay.
Great. I love it.
All right, let's get some of that extra paper out of there that's confusing us. All right. I do have a tiny baby decal. I feel like putting 3 logos on him is just a bit too much.
Logo him up, baby. Look at all those extra logos you got.
It's gonna turn into a NASCAR, like.
If you used NASCAR, you'd be loading up with a bunch of other decals.
That's true, that's true.
Mos Eisley Spaceport, the only destination that matters.
It's very difficult to, Okay, I'm pretty sure I have the right side facing up on my brush, but I don't know for a fact. That was kind of hard to know. All right, micro sole, and then micro set. Sole and set.
Soul and set.
All right, we're gonna put it on his shoulder. So I'll put down a nice little layer of this paint. This paint is pretty old, just for your reference, viewer.
Beware.
So it's probably like pretty cured. Yes. Yes, I love it. Okay, let me suck up some of this excess.
Remember that the Empire logo is oriented such that a sprocket is going vertically, ideally.
I can't tell if you're memeing right now. I mean, like, maybe you're right, but do you think I am able to control that, really?
I'm just saying. I can't tell what orientation it's in. I'm just saying, like, point vertical on the hexagon.
I will try.
Good luck.
Okay, I think I got it. Ah, come on, chat. Doesn't that look fucking sick?
Yeah, it does.
Ah.
I kind of wish you had an even smaller one to put on his chest piece.
I know, the top left camera chest is asking for something.
Just a teeny tiny one.
I know.
I mean, you could cheat it and literally just put like a little black dot and then a tiny white dot in the middle and be like, it's totally an Empire logo.
Yeah. You just don't look close.
Yeah, it's like in scale, it's like an inch in size or something.
I love it.
It's pretty cool.
I don't like how you can see both from one angle. I think that's a little bit lame. I should have thought about that, but I still think it looks really cool. All right, I dabbed off the micro set just so we're not, micro soul, just so we're not like dousing the model in it. But now I am gonna brush it onto my decal just so I get a nice rounded shape, which I kind of already have. Again, don't know if this is necessary. I can't even really see.
Oh yeah, there is an Inquisitor logo you could have put on there too.
Oh fuck, is there?
Yeah.
Oh, what is it? Is it hard? Is it like super crazy detail like this one is?
Less.
Okay, that's good.
Hang on. Is this? Am I looking at the right thing, Star Wars nerds?
Inquisitorius. That sounds right.
Still involves making a stupid perfect circle.
We could print it on decal though.
I know, but like, hang on. I'll throw it up on screen once I get this stupid thing looking at the right thing.
Stupid. All right, I'm gonna mute myself. I'm gonna dry this, and then we're gonna apply a little bit of paints, and then we'll varnish it. I guess.
Right, this is the Inquisitor logo.
And I'm back. Here's another reason why you want to varnish your decals. It's very clearly a different finish than my paint, and so when you kind of rotate it around, you can see that it's a decal. Also, someone said that looked like the FaZe Clan. It absolutely does look like FaZe Clan. My fucking Inquisitors are elite gamers, dude.
See,
I love that.
That's the paint scheme I would do.
FaZe Clan?
I would be like Space Station Gaming or something. Fuck it.
I love that. All right, we need some transparent
Print out a double
blue.
lift head for one of my guys.
Double lift head?
Double Lift is a former League of Legends pro and current pro game caster.
Is there a FaZe Clan for League?
Probably. I can't remember. I mean, like, I haven't paid attention to League of Legends competitive esports in, I don't know, 8 years or something. So, I have no idea. That's a great question. Is the opening supposed to be on the top or the bottom? I'm looking at the image results and pretty mixed, but I think the opening is actually supposed to be on the top, which is pretty funny that or maybe no. So the Grand Inquisitor it's facing with the opening at the top, but the other one I don't know. Whatever. This is Star Wars nerd shit. I don't know, man. Pie the Painter. I actually used to regularly game with Sidco.
My claim to fame regarding famous video gamers is that I've played Crysis at one time. This was one session with Hutch, Cnanners, Mongol FPS, Frankie in 1080p on PC, and that's it. Those are all like super old FPS people that like did like machinima like shit back in the day. But that was cool playing with them. That's your claim to fame, Rufus?
It's pretty much 6 degrees from Kevin Bacon. I mean, I
so
turned them into Kevin Bacon, so.
Who's the bad guy in Ahsoka?
I'm pretty sure Ahsoka is.
Ahsoka's a bad lady?
She's her own worst enemy because she keeps getting in the way of her own progress. I don't know, man.
Yeah, but it's a Disney movie, so they have to have some kind of generic villain.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Thrawn.
There's someone wearing mascara and who's very angry about existence.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna use some of this speed paint. It's called Cloud Burst.
Speed paint.
Very nice, desaturated blue color. I'm gonna thin it down a lot, and then we'll try to apply it on top of our decal. I need a lot in my airbrush. I always put too much paint in my airbrush and then inevitably end up spilling it everywhere.
Not Disney, Dave Filoni. Nah, it's a Disney thing.
All right, let's get some blue paint on the top of that decal.
Sure he isn't. Let me put in the actual... What the hell? I thought I put it in. Hang on. What is the name of this game?
Shatterpoint.
No, god damn it, Scott. I mean the one for the giveaway.
Malifaux?
No, the Righteous Falcon Games one.
Oh. I have the rule book on my bookshelf over there.
Was it NASG? Nefarious Absurd
Yes,
Scintillating Games?
Yes.
Cool.
My epic gamer moment was when I dunked on a large Twitch streamer in lane on stream when I still played League. It wasn't a high rank, but the streamer wasn't pro. The webcam window was bigger than the gaming window, if that gives you an idea of what kind of streamer it was. Okay, yeah, all right, sure. Peanut Butter Falcon.
This box is sick. There's a lot of stuff in here.
You saying that chat picked the right box?
Yeah. I mean, like, the Assassin's Creed Mini is one high-quality resin miniature from a well-known franchise. And then this is, like, a box full of, like, buildings and weird monsters and cool things. I'm going to definitely... do I have a Sharpie over here?
You know what?
Come on, man. Throw me a Sharpie. I assume you have one.
Close.
It's a good throw.
Can I swap my anime lady for the box? No. Did Scott see Vampires vs. Nazis RPG on Kickstarter? Eat the Reich? No, I have not.
Eat the Reich. Now we're talking.
I actually think that for what I'm doing right now, I don't want a transparent paint. I want a paint that actually covers. I feel like a dingus. All right, you know what? Let's just take a little bit of white paint. And we'll just add it to this stuff. Just a tiny bit. I feel like Thrawn is one of the scariest villains ever written. Dude plays 4D chess while everyone is still playing Primordial, while everyone is still in a Primordial amoeba.
That's a lot of bold claims.
I don't know. All right, just the tiniest amount of paint. Look at that. It's like those little droplets. I'm hoping will give me the opacity that I'm after.
studio full of paint. I have nothing that can cover this.
I don't think Disney writes complex characters. I mean, at some point in Disney's career, they probably did. It totally changes the paint, mixing that little bit of white in. Let's see if it actually makes the paint more opaque, though.
Gaff tape. Gaff tape.
Damn. Well, nope.
It's not working?
Not working. That's okay. I was trying to salvage the paint I already had in the little cup. But let's just use normal acrylic paint. Try that out. Normally, chat, when I do these kinds of things, like do a thing that does nothing and then just like, I would normally just give up. But, because just assume it's not worth it. And the next time I try it, I'll try something else. But, you know, I'm just trying something different today where I, you know, when I make a mistake, kind of go back and try to actually fix it. The white highlighting with the airbrush actually worked in the end. It just kind of took a while to get there, annoyingly. Let's see if we can make this work. But Disney does have compelling characters in Andor. I'm sure there are other Disney properties that have compelling characters.
Disney has plenty of compelling characters, but they have relatively few complex characters. There's two different statements there.
I kind of feel like a complex character can be compelling.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, like, they're not the same statement. A complex character might not be compelling, and a compelling character might not be complex. But it can be both, or just one. That's true. Andor was good. It was fantastic. I loved it.
I am going to watch another Star Wars TV show soon here. I have to fly to Connecticut, unfortunately for a funeral. But I'm going to have some time alone. And I plan to watch one of the Star Wars Disney TV shows. I've already seen the first season of Mando.
You should watch Andor.
I've already seen Andor. Andor was great.
You should watch it again.
It was good. I'm trying to use... Actually, I watched it with my wife. I'm trying to use that as leverage to get her to watch Rogue One with me.
Good luck.
Good luck. Thank you, Hud. I appreciate it. Because considering my situation, which one should I watch? Should I watch Obi-Wan, Ahsoka? Should I watch the second season of Mandalorian? Should I watch Boba Fett? I can't remember the other ones. But
I think Boba Fett got pretty meh reviews. Second season of Mandalorian I thought was fine. I haven't watched the other ones, so.
Okay. Sopranos. Visions. What's Visions? Ahsoka. Obi-Wan and Boba Fett are some of the worst TV shows I've watched.
You should watch the She-Hulk show.
The She-Hulk show.
Ahsoka is actually just season 5 of Rebels. I'm not sure how much people are going to get out of it without watching Rebels. That might be true. I don't know.
All right, get us back on that paint cam to see if what I just did now is going to get us somewhere where we actually want to be.
That better?
Yeah, it's great.
It's paint. It's a cam and it's on paint.
That's true.
Got him.
Visions is a bunch of self-contained episodes in a bunch of different styles. Some of them are very, very cool. Okay, so it's like an anthology TV show.
Yeah.
Kind of like
Stories from beyond the rift.
There we go. Okay. Instantaneously, I can see I'm starting to blur that top corner and make it less black than that corner. Okay. Am I getting speckling? No.
I didn't watch it, Rufus.
Cool.
I'm not ashamed to admit that I didn't watch it.
Not entirely realistic. It wouldn't be that like dimmed down when it went into shadow, but it gives you a little bit of blending. And like with most things in miniature wargaming, we typically like to overdo an effect. So there's a little bit in that top corner is going to make it seem like it blends in more with the surface, which is nice. You can already see when I start to move the model around that the glossiness of the decal is going away a little bit. You can still see it in that bottom corner where I applied no airbrushing paint, but in that top left corner, it's kind of disappearing. All right, done though. Model is done. Just need to paint the base, which I want to do them all at the same time. That's cool. Okay, Grand Inquisitor is complete. I just need to varnish it to really kind of make this make the decals
and do something with his base.
Conform. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't do my base on my Colossus because I was like, oh, I'll wait until my whole squad is done, and then I can do them all at once, and they'll actually look the same.
There you go.
Big brain.
That is a big brain.
I'm really not that much of a curmudgeon, truthfully. I like going and watching big dumb movies all the time. I enjoyed the stupid Indiana Jones movie. Like, I recognized that it was stupid, but I enjoyed it. The ending was really something else.
Okay. Let's put some caps on some things.
Caps on things, baby.
Season 3 Mano's trash. Boba Fett's trash. Secret Invasion was god-awful. Can't wait for the OSL in the cave. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen.
I think if I do paint some Shatterpoint minis, it's going to be only OSL. That's going to be my theme.
Okay.
No color other than the color provided by the lightsaber.
Sounds good to me.
Very, very, very easy.
Looking forward to seeing how you pull it out.
And it'll look like very lazy, but it'll work.
We've already spent too long on this model. It needs to be done.
Yeah, don't worry. You've only got like 5 more, right?
Yeah, I guess it depends on what I want to go with. But in the army that I painted last time, it would be Maul, the 2 other Inquisitors, Rex, and then 2 clone troopers. So 6 more dudes. And the list can kind of change, but it's like that's pretty normal for armies. Okay, should I varnish this now? I have the AK Ultramat on the desk, but I don't necessarily want to use that straight up because, as Evan alluded to, a satin varnish does make things pop better. And so I probably should use a mix of something. I'll just use the spray can that I have that I know fucking works. I'm not gonna do it right now. Okay, that leaves stuff to. We have some time left to paint more, about an hour. What should I paint? I'm gonna paint some Greyjoy stuff, and the reason for that is finally, after probably a month and a half of communicating with Kumani or not, they have finally agreed to do a sponsored Kill Your Friends of A Song of Ice and Fire. And so I have a Greyjoy army to paint, chat. At least finish painting. So let's, we got some minis on my desk here. Let's paint up some Drowned Men, which are an incredibly high value unit that will definitely end up in my list in some capacity.
Less high value than they were before.
Why
They nerfed them. It made me sad.
Did they nerf them? How'd they get nerfed? I forget.
Their morale got one worse.
Oh, it's not 4 anymore?
Yeah, it's 5, I think. Because, they can get pillaged now. They can rob your other units of pillage.
Chad, sorry, Simon, do you expect me to put pillage on my fucking drowned men?
Yeah, they can just get it when they make a melee attack, because that's your only way of generating pillage.
If they take a rank out, is that what you're saying? Or
yeah, exactly. And then their morale gets back to where it was. Good job, drowned man.
I am going to... There was water on the surface of my palette, which is why this is happening. You can even see the metallic paint creating. It has a little cloud burst around it.
Like a halo.
Yeah, and it went around the edge and everything. So I'm just going to clean my palette. Use the same paper. I don't need to replace the paper because this is very fresh. But I'm going to clean this out just so I don't get any weird sparkly bits in the skin of my drowned men.
Sparkly. I mean, it would make them look like they just had some salt water dry on them or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Pie the Painter, you just be the change you want to see. The 2-player starter for Song of Ice and Fire is still the best deal in miniature wargaming. Because that box can be bought for $60 to $80 and has over 100 miniatures in it. Not the best minis, but they're not the worst. They're fine. But you get a lot in that box. Adam Stevens, we did already do the giveaway. We're on our way towards the next one. When we hit 50 subs, we'll be giving away a box from... Hang on, let me look at the Nefarious, Absurd, Scintillating Games by Righteous Falcon Games, which includes a bunch of monsters and buildings. Yeah. Which advice, Rufus Kid? Killing us softly, 715, gifting a sub. Thank you. Also, I'm not sure we got Kin and Sid October with the Prime subs. But we did now.
I'm back from the sink.
He has returned.
I have returned.
Ah, yes. I mean, like, it's the only way to actually get to play the games you want to play is to just do it.
I don't know what we're playing next week. Wait, when's the next gaming stream?
Next week, yeah.
Actually, there are 5 Thursdays in this month.
Oh, are we back to 5:30? I mean, we only do it the 1st and 3rd.
This is true.
Is this going to be the game stream directly before CMON Expo?
Possibly.
Well, that would actually. Hang on, let me look at.
Is CMON Expo Labor Day?
No, CMON Expo is 15th, 16th, and 17th the next month.
Okay, then no, it is not. But maybe the one after that would be right before it.
Well, I mean, we're going to have a game stream. Oh, wait, no, we aren't. Hang on, no. Because Friday is the 1st.
Yes.
So we have one on Thursday the 7th and one on the 21st.
Legion? If my Legion homies are available, I would love that. Also, I wouldn't mind having someone come out and teach us how to play fucking War Machine.
Yeah, we got to do that. We have to play Evian on stream at some point.
Evian.
Evian's fantastic. Everyone should check it out. PlayEvian.com.
I've never noticed this happening before, but it stands to reason that it would happen. I'm going to try to focus on the palette here so you can see this.
Focus?
Yeah.
Not Evian. Evian. It might be Ivian. Who knows?
There is remnant of paper towel.
Ew.
On my palette.
Do you get the cheap paper towels or the good ones?
I don't know. But yeah, you can see it right there.
I used to have that problem with Brawny.
I've always wiped down my palette with paper towel, and I've never noticed that before. And I'm pretty anal, so I feel like I would have noticed it. I'm gonna go scrape it off real quick and then come back and do it again. And I have a shop towel, which is like the blue paper towel that I know for a fact is not supposed to do that at the whole selling point.
Yeah.
So let me just do that because I
try it again from the top.
For the longest time, I've always gotten, not always, but sometimes I get little bits of texture on my models. I don't know why.
Oh, that's a great point, Kitten. Scott, you should be using Scott brand paper towels. Do we have a sync cam? We don't, but I could get up and hang on. Swivel around the main camera into darkness.
Testing.
It is working.
Okay. Okay. I don't know if that actually solved the paper towel problem. I assume it did. Scott can't spend a moment off stream or check his antsy.
It's true.
I get antsy. You should get a 360 cam. That would be cool. All right. Trying to see if it's happening again with this stuff. Doesn't seem like it is. You know, one problem with the manufactured wet pellet paper from various brands is that it tends to sponge up water more, and like the whole paper becomes like a sponge for water. So when you put paint down, no matter how dry you make it, it's still like will do what happened before. It'll still spiderweb out. Whereas with normal palette or normal baking paper, it not only works like a palette paper is supposed to, but it doesn't do that. I can wipe it up more effectively.
Never had that problem with the Army Painter ones, but
okay, maybe they're doing something right then. Okay, I think I'm speed painting these guys.
Speed paint.
I think I was using my typical speed painting strategy, but I don't remember what paints I use. So, I'm gonna get two skin tone colors on a palette here, light flesh and highlight flesh from Ink Interactive, and just see what we can do with those colors. Got any advice for some good vampiric flesh? Trying to nail the Night of the Creature look. I actually do have some advice for that. I would use what I use, which isn't like the only thing you can use. I use Scale 75 Deep Blue as a shadow, and then I use oh man, it's a wood grain, but it looks like a skin tone. Someone help me out in chat. What is it called? Reynolds Parchment Paper or Death. I'm right there with you. Are the reusable wet palette ones any good? I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about it, but I don't know. The only option is Scale 25 Deep Blue. No, it's that one, and I can't remember everything, chat. My brain is like a sieve lately.
Wood color.
Sandalwood.
Sandalwood
is like this really pinky flesh color with very little orange in it, so it kind of looks sickly to begin with. And then when you build it up from blue, you get this lovely cold, undead, but still kind of vaguely human flesh tone. And I really like that. All right.
Was here so late last week?
What was that?
I didn't tell you about this. So remember I was like, oh yeah, we're not gonna work on the truck because it's too hot. So I didn't rush home.
Yes.
Sat down on the couch. I was like, I'm just gonna wait for traffic to end because there's no reason to go sit in my car.
Yeah.
I fell asleep on the couch.
Oh no.
I was here until like 9:30 apparently.
Oh my god.
I like woke up and was like, oh my god, I'm still here.
I'm gonna take the van.
Okay.
See ya. Sandalwood and Deep Blue both from Scale 75, correct?
Correct. Okay, we focus on the palette, so we'll refocus on the model here. And we'll turn that exposure back up because we are a little too dark.
Yeah, we're no longer painting a model that's like 50% white.
Yeah. Okay. I've been using a mixture of sunny skin tone and random browns. It's been lots of fun for varied skin tones. I bet, yeah, that would work pretty well. So you see this, like, this is happening anyways. Even though I did the thing I always do with my paper, this is still happening. I don't know. I don't know what to do about that. Maybe it's because this paper was on the wet palette for like the entire weekend.
I mean, you did rinse the top of it too, which means it's going to be super saturated.
I always do that though.
I know, but a lot of the painting brand wet palette paper is not designed to have the top wetted in that way.
Seems ridiculous to me, but okay, maybe. But I know it does curl down. But
yeah,
does that mean it's not designed to get wet on top, or like it doesn't want to be wet on top? Do they say that?
Yeah. I mean, I think in the usage instructions for most of them, they suggest basically filling your tub and laying the paper on top, and then just leaving it for a few minutes, and it'll prepare itself properly.
Okay. So maybe the problem exists between computer and chair.
It's possible. It might be an ID10T code. Some hobby brands have hydrophobic top layers. Yeah, I don't know. Again, for all my painting these days, I just use the Army Painter palette stuff. And that's because it's small and fits in my on-the-go paint kit. I actually carry 2 of them, so I can loan out one to new painters.
I don't know what paint I used on these models, chat. If you're curious what I'm doing and why I'm doing what I'm doing, I'm just going to apply some rudimentary skin highlights, and then we'll go from there. Masterson says boiling the shit out of theirs first. The reason why they want you to do that is because the paper that comes in the Masterson palette is designed for heavy-bodied acrylics. We do not use heavy-bodied acrylics. We use soft-body. And what boiling it does is it makes the paper more elastic isn't the right word, but like bendable, pliable, that's the right word. Because it is very thick. But that paper is not the right paper for what we do. It's not terrible. It's not going to ruin anything, but it won't function as good as it can. Let's get a little mix of these 2 colors, a little in-between stage. So now that Colossus is done, Evan, what's on the next? What's the next model to be painted?
I could keep working on MCP stuff, but I also have to have my Duchess done by the end of the year, or maybe done within the next 2 months.
So are you doing a swap or something like that?
It was a Christmas gift last year, and the challenge was for both me and Michael to have ours done by the end of the year.
Oh, okay.
Because we were both given one by Doc Hannah. So, that's probably what's next.
A Duchess, eh?
Yeah. Where am I going to learn to paint one of those?
I don't know. Certainly not me. Although I may hold the record for most Duchess painted.
Impressive. Who could have predicted it? Duchess is pretty cool. I've never painted a vampire before, so.
Oh. Okay. I'm liking what that looks like. Don't sound too excited yet. Yes, you definitely would be able to clean the paper off multiple times. So one of the trade-offs with having a thin piece of baking paper like product is that it's pretty weak. There's not a lot of durability. Why is there so much paint on my hand? What the fuck? But yeah, so after a couple of uses and scraping paint off and rinsing it off, it's gonna start tearing. So with that thick paper, it absolutely is going to last longer. You are totally right about that. What's a Duchess? Where did you get it from? I can't tell if he's serious.
It's a joke, yeah.
Okay.
Our number one gifter leader
Maybe he's not joking. It's a vampire model that I make. You can
also said, is a joke. Yeah.
Okay, good. Good.
I
All
also have my... I can't remember which one I got from the Kickstarter. I think I have the Ranger.
Did that show up?
Oh, yeah.
Great.
Like last month.
Great.
I texted you. It was the same day you paid me. It's like, oh, yeah, it's payday, and I got my Kickstarter from you today.
Nice. The Duchess class is actually legitimately great. Thank you. The Ranger.
Well, I don't have no Duchess class.
The Ranger, I hope, will be even better. Boy, it should be. I'm a better painter now. And I also think I'm a better teacher.
I listened to a lot of Ben Cantor's class.
Oh, I'm sure you have, yeah.
I didn't see any of the visuals associated with everything he's talking about. I was just fixing all that.
Okay, I got another color on my palette here called Base Flesh because the leg here toward the bottom really gets dark, and so I'm gonna just do some basic highlighting with this color toward the bottom.
So that's like base flesh is in like dubstep, right?
Yes, absolutely. This is when I pretend to understand what Heaven is saying.
They should make ear gauge cameras.
I'm blocking the camera.
A little bit.
Not too concerned about making this perfect. Just doing some basic highlights.
So are you going to play in National, Scott, or are you just going to wander around to the CMON convention?
When is it? Let's see if I can even be there.
Well, didn't you get invited to CMON Expo?
Okay. I did, but let me explain.
Uh-oh.
I feel like an asshole, but I don't know if I am an asshole. CMON emailed me out of the goodness of their heart, and they probably don't think anything's wrong with this, when they were like, would you like to teach a class at the thing as a guest of honor? And I was like, that sounds like a cool opportunity. And then I asked them like what they meant by that, and they said multiple, classes, like maybe like two, where I'm teaching beginners, and then they're like, do you also want to like sit down and play games with like your viewers, kind of like a special guest play Blood Rage with people. And that stuff's all cool, but like when I teach a class, I have an admission that people pay for, and like I take classes pretty seriously, and I like have like curriculum that I like hand out and like all these things, and so I was like, that sounds cool. I would like to be paid for my time though, like as an instructor, because that's what I always do whenever I teach a class. People pay for tickets. And so I told them I don't have an hourly rate. I don't know what it would be. I just know I know what my ticket rate is. And so I try to come up with an hourly rate for like beginner stuff. So not like crazy stuff like advanced painting stuff.
We're talking about like a 2-hour class, not like an 8-hour class.
Not an 8-hour, 2-day class. So I gave them a rate for teaching. I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was like $40 an hour or something like that. Maybe $30, maybe $50, somewhere in there. And I haven't heard anything back. But I think it's weird that they would, I don't know. Should I be paid for that? I feel like I should. I feel like it's bizarre that I'm even asking that question, but I think it's, it's my time. Like I'm going to be a selling point for why people will come to your convention, for better or for worse. Like my presence there will make you a little bit of money. I'm teaching a thing that, I learned over the course of my painting career, that I made a curriculum for, that I sell to other people. All these reasons to me suggest that it would be a paid opportunity. But the number of times that CMON has reached out to me asking me to do free stuff for them, it's just a little bit annoying. I kind of feel like we've gotten to a point where it's just like, come on guys, like I should be paid for my time, my expertise, and what I've learned and what I've shared and stuff like that.
I'm definitely not biased at all. So
okay. How dare
no,
you?
I'm with you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Everyone's saying that. Yeah, time isn't free. Okay. Maybe follow up. I did. So yeah, maybe they are a little bit swamped. I would love to teach there and stuff like that. That'd be super cool. And again, it's not as expensive as a normal class. I just I don't know. I don't want to do it for free, I guess.
I think there's also a whole nother piece of this too, where it's like, from what I know about everything that they're doing, I don't know that they really have space for you to teach a class. It's going to be crowded.
Yeah.
Because it's not a gigantic space. So, yeah, Weird Bird's correct. Artists deserve to be paid for their time.
Yeah, I kind of also agree. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at with the CMON thing. Okay, I didn't even answer your question though. What weekend is it? I'm sorry.
It is the middle of next month. It is the weekend of the 16th.
Okay, I will be here. I have nothing on the calendar, and so at the very least, I absolutely will go. I kind of would rather play in the tournament than teach a class, honestly.
It should be a pretty good size turnout for the tournament. The tournament is expensive, though.
Is it?
So I qualified because I'm an elite pro gamer or whatever.
This is true.
But to attend the expo and play in the tournament is a cost of, let's see if you can guess.
I'm gonna hope it's $40, 20
More.
for each.
More.
60.
More.
No, Seema, what are you doing?
Because, well, okay, so the tournament, I'll just give you the price of the tournament. To enter the tournament, if you haven't pre-qualified, it's $25.
Okay, what are the prizes?
I'm sure that the prizes are pretty good. I mean, like the super regionals, the top 4 got every Martell box that was out. And,
I mean, that's pretty cool. If the prizes are good, then I don't necessarily care.
Right, yeah. $25 for the tournament is totally reasonable. However, you also have to pay admission to the expo. And that costs $100.
Whoa, dude!
So if you have not qualified for the tournament, it's $125.
Holy shit! How many games? Is it 5 games?
It depends on how many people show up, but yeah, that's what I would expect. So it's going to be a 5-game tournament.
Okay.
It could end up being 6 if they actually like blow through all their tickets and stuff. But I think that we're going to have like 50 people, and it's going to be 5 rounds.
Oof.
Now that said, the $100 for the entry to CMON Expo gets you a ton of crap in the swag bag.
Okay.
They're saying it's a $150 worth minimum of stuff. The super regionals cost like $35, and the not the retail value, the manufacturer cost on that stuff was more than $35. Like retail value, the door entry was probably worth like $100 for the super regionals. I got that game mat that I left here. I got 2 unit boxes, some other like little swag, like dice bag, that kind of stuff. And I know that those game mats probably cost. Actually, you know what? I can't say anything because I actually do know how much they cost. And it was a good deal for us. I was told after the fact.
Okay. Yeah, I would. I'd probably be more willing to go and play in that than teach a class. Someone asked if I have any classes planned. No, I don't. Not at the moment.
Yeah, you guys taught at LVO last year, and you guys were preparing for that around this time last year, but that's not happening again this year, correct?
It's not happening, no. It was a lot of work to do that. It's pretty stressful.
And you don't want to turn Adepticon into work, so no classes at Adepticon.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'd like to do like a little Minnesota class like here in my office with like 5 students, something like that at some point.
Gross.
Just like a little smaller, intimate thing. What up, Woa? Or Whoa? That's too much for a tournament entry fee. Holy fuck.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Well, I mean, again, it's CMON Expo. I think that's still too much to pay to enter CMON Expo, but that's not my call. It's a convention price. I get it. $25 to actually play in the tournament on top of that, totally reasonable. But
I'm trying to think. I think it's pretty fucking expensive to play like at LVO for a 40K tournament.
I think you are correct. Yeah, because you have to pay admission and all that stuff. I mean, like even Adepticon, which is I would say on the more affordable side of things. If you want to actually play in the big tournaments, they do cost money.
Yeah. Someone said, I think Mike Genie said, fucking playing Blitz games at Adepticon. Fuck yeah, dude. I will play some Blitz games at Adepticon and suck ass. Everyone's got to bring the pre-con decks, though. No fancy Blitz decks.
Yep. No, only pre-cons.
That'd be so much fun. Do a little
I will play Evian with anyone, by the way. Play Evian.com. I'm going to link it again. I think that game is better than Flesh and Blood.
I got 5 of the pre-con decks now. I played a little bit of Flesh and Blood this last weekend when Amber was away taking care of her mom. Had the boys over, played some Flesh and Blood. It was a fucking good ass time. I would love to throw down at Adepticon.
You also still have my Flesh and Blood game mat here somewhere.
That's why I have 5. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I have 5. How did I get the 5th one? Okay, it's at my house. I have it.
Thief.
I am. Playing some Netrunner. Son of a bitch. Netrunner?
Yeah. Netrunner's back, baby.
Netrunner is back? Is it back?
Unofficially. Officially, unofficially.
Netrunner is a fun game. I've only ever played, I believe, Curtis. Maybe other people. And I've lost every single time.
I think it's Thursday nights at the Source now. Is it Netrunner night? And they're, pulling a few people every week.
Okay.
Or every other week. I don't know what their schedule is like. Ask Scott. They're actually selling it at the store now. The unofficial official stuff. Because the community has kind of just kept developing Netrunner and has these blocks coming out. There's now a retail product, and I think FFG is not super happy about it, but the store has taken the standpoint of you can take that up with the people making it or selling it. So they have it on the shelf there. And I might buy it. I probably shouldn't, but I might.
It's not that expensive, is it?
I mean, it's an LCG, so it's not that bad, but it feels worse than Evian. That's what I say.
Sure.
Because Evian, you get the whole box, and it's only 3, and you get a whole cycle and all that stuff.
All right, this is turning into shit. Right now.
It's just turning into water.
It's not turning into water. But, I mean, yeah, it's thin, but like there's tons of shit and bits in here. So we're gonna do what you guys said. This paper has been on his palette for at least a weekend. I'll take it off. I'll just put a sheet down and watch it do its magic. So this is the Army Painter stuff right here. Let's see. Feels good. I'm gonna put it down. I know that this should work. I've seen it work before.
Curl up for a minute, and then it'll set itself back down.
Okay. What is Netrunner? Skaver. Netrunner is a living card game previously developed by Fantasy Flight Games, wherein you take on the role of Corporation as the bad guy, and Runner.
Whoa.
Okay, whatever. They're all bad guys. Corporation or Runner. The Runner is like the hacker trying to hack the Corporation. It's an asymmetric game in the truest sense of the word, because both players have different things they can do, and they have different amounts of activation on their turns.
It is very much like an attack and defend card game.
Yes.
And in a match, each player will play each role. So you make a runner deck and you make a corpo deck.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so you'll play offense and defense. It's very fun. It's very cool. It originally was a Cyberpunk card game. Like, it was a licensed Cyberpunk thing. And then it became a generic Cyberpunk thing. And then it became a dead Cyberpunk thing. And then the community picked it up with Project Nisei. And so, like, the last 2 cycles of cards are, like, you go on drive-through cards and order the packs. Because it's community developed. And it's pretty cool. It's really fun. It seems relatively well-balanced overall. Although Scott was saying some of the more recent stuff was kind of weird. But whatever. That's pretty cool.
Okay. Taking a look at the palette real quick again. This is obviously solved the problem. So I think I don't think putting water on top is a problem. I've definitely done that before. Maybe just it getting super waterlogged over the weekend was a problem. More testing is needed. But it looks way better now. Way better.
I mean, palette paper can become oversaturated over time.
I suppose
in a number
so.
of ways.
It stands to reason, I suppose. Okay.
It's like Johnny Mnemonic. Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely how it's...
I need a computer. I have to get online. Oh, I learned my favorite fun fact yesterday. Keanu Reeves is left-handed.
Oh.
Just like me.
Nice. Okay, I started to watch John Wick 4, and I don't know, man. I really don't think they understand what makes John Wick special.
It's interesting. I haven't seen it yet, but a lot of feedback has been that it was better than John Wick 3.
I really haven't liked any of them beyond the first one.
Yeah, the first one was like magic lightning in a bottle.
It's so cool.
And then they were like, let's just heap on more of this like extra heavy lore.
Yeah, the lore is really heavy, but also like the way they're fighting is really fucking dumb. So apparently now everyone's got bulletproof fucking suit jackets, and so they're all doing like this the entire time. They're all like holding their jacket and like shooting guns and running around in circles around each other.
I mean,
it's really lame.
The dumbest shootout in any movie I've ever seen is that one that's in like the train terminal, the subway station, where their guns are suppressed and they're like shooting in a crowd of people and like no one hears the guns going off, even though they're like standing like literally right next to people.
Is this 3 or 4? Or?
That was 2 or 3.
Okay, I haven't seen that in a super long time, but I can't remember. That does sound really dumb.
It was intolerably dumb.
Yeah. But yeah, so the first one had like really cool gunfighting. Like, and it wasn't dumb and unrealistic.
You know, the real reason that the first one was the best didn't have anything to do with the gunfighting. It had to do with the fact that it had Willem Dafoe in it.
Wait, it does. You're right.
And then they killed Willem Dafoe in the first movie. And I was like, okay, we're done here.
I should just watch the first one again.
The first one's magical.
It's so much fun to watch.
The second and third ones are just kind of action movie schlock. They're well made, but like,
Yeah. Rufus is saying, don't forget the time the people holding the guns who let a person knock and shoot an arrow before they try to pull the trigger. Right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's the other thing, is there are people with the fucking bow and arrow that are like legitimately competing in this world. And like I think everyone is wearing bulletproof stuff. I think that's the point. But yeah.
Yeah, but whatever. The penetration qualities of an arrow are not going to be more than a rifle.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, Kitten, you are correct. Guns are, in fact, loud. People always like freak out about silencers, and it's like that's not really what they are. They take guns from being oppressively instant hearing damage loud to just being really loud. Are you saying John Wick isn't real? Yes, that is what I'm saying.
It's not real, but I thought the reason the franchise got lauded in the first place was because it was super realistic gunfighting.
No.
People were saying that about like the reload times and like how he's like walking around corners and all that stuff was like realistic gun handling.
I mean, like a lot of that is realistic gun handling, but there's a lot of stuff in even the schlockiest, most ridiculous movies that is realistic gun handling. It's just unrealistic outcomes. Nox Geek resubscribed 27 months.
Damn, Nox Geek.
Damn.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate the support. Appreciate all you people that support.
Collateral is better about gun handling than the Wick series at this point. I mean, yeah, there's less gunplay in Collateral, though. I mean, that's just it is. There are a lot of movies that have more realistic gunplay, but most of them aren't action movies. They're like thrillers that have like a couple of sequences with guns, but for the most part are just like people talking. Nox Geek You are the second person to ask that today. There are no classes currently planned. But at some point in the future, Scott would like to do classes again.
There was a Texas location that had a really, really beautiful venue that I think is going to be too hard to pass up. I think we're going to have to do that one at some point. It's in, I believe, Dallas. It's on a lake. Very pretty. Okay, we got some skin painted. Let's give this old man some eyeballs.
The Idiot Painter, that movie doesn't have realistic gunplay, but it does have the most sane and rational sex scene of any movie I've ever seen. Shoot 'em Up with, who's that, Clive Owen? Has the most grounded and realistic sex scene in any movie of all time. And it is definitely not an insane male-centric ridiculousness fest.
Look at that eyeball, chat. You can do it too, okay? Well, first of all, we're not anywhere near done yet, but let me mess up like 3
Why
times.
are you putting eyes in drownmen? The eyes are closed.
Are they? Are they? Are they actually?
Oh.
Do they walk around?
I'm just
all
messing.
3 of them walk around with their eyes closed?
I don't know. They're like dead guys.
I don't know the lore. Maybe you're right.
I don't know the lore either. I'm just making shit up.
Did you guys all watch Goobertown's video where he like looks at brushes under a microscope? Super interesting.
I did, yeah. He
It
didn't
was
talk about guide hairs, though.
He did. What he did show, though, was a Winsor Newton Kolinsky brush, a Sable Series 7 brush, and it had a hair longer than the rest.
It's true.
And I felt so fucking vindicated. I was like, look, you can see it under the microscope. But it was really cool to see the difference between a synthetic bristle and a Kolinsky one. Like, it's very obvious.
Oh, yeah, and the different types of sable, too.
Yes. I didn't know about that, like the different grades of weasel. So that was pretty cool to see.
The straightest, most delicious weasel butt hair. It's like how hair from different parts of my body is different grades.
The world is flat. Human Centipede has the best sex scene. Right.
Yeah, Carson R. I believe Shoot 'em Up is, in fact, the one where he stabs someone with a carrot. The sex scene I was referring to, by the way, is also a shootout scene where they're fighting off a SWAT raid while having sex. It is so ridiculous.
I'm just reading I sent the video for review to Black Site to see if they were cool with the ad in it.
Oh, yeah, I was going to tell you that you got messages from them.
Yes. Look, everything's good to go for tomorrow.
Also, shout out, they launched their robot game today.
They did. Mobile Arms Destiny is out if you are into skirmishy mech games with magnetic limbs that can be attached and detached based on what weapons you have on your mech. Seems like a cool idea, honestly.
All of it is pretty cool. I have been told that they made a pouch sprue. I haven't seen it yet. I need proof of life for pouches. Proof of pouches. But you can pre-order it now or whatever. Like the digital files are out now and physical fulfillment later. Robots are pretty sweet. I like that it's big scale.
None of my sail brushes are Kolinsky. Okay. If you're into arms that can walk, this game is for you. Wait, what? Yeah,
and it's just in time for Armored Core this week.
The art is very cool.
Yep.
What's Armored Core again?
From Software's upcoming game. Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon.
Fires of Rubicon.
It's a robot game, all right? It's sweet. It's cool. Fast-paced, sci-fi mech action. on a faraway world fighting over a resource that doesn't make any sense on the behalf of faceless corporations that don't give a shit about anybody. But it's okay because you're like a brain trapped in a giant robot. So you might as well just fuck some shit up, fam.
Unobtainium again?
Pretty much.
You said the arms are mobile. Yes. Unobtainium? Okay, so I guess it depends what you mean by unobtainium, but right now mobile arms is available on their...
No, they're referring to me talking about some bizarre resource that doesn't make any sense.
Okay, cool. I didn't know, because like the game isn't like... It's on a pre-order-esque website.
Yeah, it's on their site, and you can order it, and I believe like the PDFs are ready now, but it's like the physical stuff will ship out later. They have 3 tiers. I was looking at this earlier. Hang on, I'll throw a link in the chat in a second here.
It's called their Backroom Project, and it's worth explaining kind of what that is.
Disgusting.
They hate Kickstarter, and so they do this thing called the Backroom, and they have done 6 or 7 projects on the Backroom. And basically what it is like a hybrid between a pre-order and Kickstarter. The production window for a project on the back window is 7 months. And they know this because they have done it many times before, which is key. And so you don't get it immediately, but you will get it at some point soon. And they do updates every single, I believe, week or month on their live stream. So you can show up to those and ask questions. But yeah, it's a model they've been happy with.
So anyway, tier 1
sounds shady.
So they have rules only. And then they have the tier 1, which is you choose one of the 2 factions that are currently available. You get that. And then tier 2 is both factions. And then tier 3 is both factions and their terrain packs. And I believe it's the same deal as Demonship. It's pre-painted MDF. That's pretty cool. Mech Workshop and Mining Site MDF kits. Hang on, I gotta go on their Discord and say, where are my pouches? Give me a second. Where are my pouches? Yeah.
Gib pouches.
Gib pouch sprue. Yeah, and I think there's like an STL bundle and different other things, but those are like the main deals.
I appreciate that they have like videos on their YouTube as well, explaining the game and list building and how to play the game. Just nice. They just do a lot of things the right way, and I appreciate that.
And if you order within the first 24 hours, you get a free bonus armed pilot. He does, in fact, have 2 arms. Pretty neat.
Big hunky men.
What'd you say? They're big, hunky men?
They got big muscles.
Big.
Well, not big, but
hunky.
A lot of skin showing.
Scott, camera recommendations for less than $500.
A used Panasonic GH4. Used prosumer cameras are where it's at.
Yeah.
If you're trying to save money, because they're great. You know, I love the GH4. The one issue with the GH4 is its color is a little funky, and they really fixed that with the GH6, but that is exceedingly more expensive. But I'm trying to think of a cheaper recommendation that has like really wonderful color science and all the wonderful things about the Panasonic as well, and I don't really know.
Might go see a Megalodon 2 tonight. Is that shit out?
Nice. Does it need a macro lens? No.
A macro lens.
What I would recommend for a lens, I've used the same camera lens on my Panasonic cameras since like a year into my channel. When I switched over to Panasonic from Canon, like in like the first year of my channel's existence, I used a Panasonic 12-35 f2.8. And that's the exact same lens I bought those 6 years ago, 5 years ago, whenever it was. It's amazing. Alternatively, any used camera, like a used Sony, would also be good. Like if you could find an A7S for cheap, I don't know if you could. That'd be amazing. But yeah, hard to do. Oh, one free refill. This is the Prime, so hey, what's up? Get that paint camera going, Mr. Evan. Thank you, sir. Goodbye, Pink Pop.
Sometimes I just got to give the people some FaceTime with you, Scott.
They want it, though.
Yeah, they want the FaceTime.
They want the FaceTime.
What, you think this is a paint stream?
Only
What, are you crazy?
Crazy?
All right, chat. Should I be excited about seeing Megalodon 2?
Absolutely.
A high-quality film for high-quality people?
As long as you don't like it more than Rogue One.
Don't worry. I'll probably like it as much as I like B-movie.
Would a Panasonic DMC G7 be good? Okay, so the one issue with the G7, and I only know this because I bought one, is that it doesn't have, what is it? When it's outputting HDMI, which you may never even do if you don't live stream or like hook it up to a recorder or a monitor ever, which you should hook it up to a monitor, the camera goes black. It makes it impossible to know how to change any exposure. Unless you do HDMI info, then you can see it on your monitor. Then that's possible. It's not good for live streaming for that reason, but it is great for normal stuff, I would say. But for just videos, though, that doesn't really matter. Because obviously you record to an SD card. It doesn't record the HDMI info to your fucking video. If that makes sense. Let me know if that doesn't make sense. Sony makes great cameras, but the problem is they're expensive, and the ones that aren't expensive, at least historically, have overheating problems. I don't know if they still do. It's been a while since I've looked into Sony. I'm very heavily invested into Panasonic and also Blackmagic, but I wouldn't recommend Blackmagic for painting. I like Panasonic because it's a micro four thirds system. And inherently, that gives you less depth of field, which normally is a bad thing. But for mini painting is actually a great thing because less is out of focus. That's one key reason why I like Panasonic cameras. Evan, I'm selling some streaming equipment so that I can buy one of those Z cams for the stream.
Very cool.
Did I talk to you about that at all or no?
You mentioned that was on the docket of upcoming purchases at some point.
Yes.
The question is how exactly we will integrate it and use it.
Same way it's integrated now. Well, actually, no, that's not true because we're going to use either SSP or NDI to get it into the computer.
Stefano117 rating us with a party of 10.
Thank you,
Hello.
Stefano.
Zcam sounds like a sleeping pill. Yeah, kinda. Ask your doctor about Zcam.
It's like if I had known this camera existed when we were buying equipment for the stream, I would have absolutely purchased it. It is the perfect, like, mid to high range streaming camera that doesn't break the bank. It's the best.
Yeah, they're pretty sweet.
All right, little arm. Not full frame. Sorry, I should say the whole thing. It's a Zcam E2C. That's the whole camera that I would use for streaming. They probably go on sale for pretty cheap.
Damn. These things will do 12-bit ProRes RAW.
The E2Cs will?
Yeah, if you go to the Ninja V5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
ProRes RAW. ProRes RAW.
I only have one of those.
Still, I'm surprised that it'll do 12-bit.
Yeah.
I would expect 10.
Upgrading your cam so I can watch my $50 second monitor with 0-degree viewing angle. Nice. I love that. The thing about the E2C that's amazing is that with just Ethernet, you can power the device, remotely control it, and capture a compressed image that's good enough for live streaming. And
That's not just good enough for live stream, way more than good enough for live streaming.
yeah, with just one cable.
Yeah.
And the thing is that if there are 6 cams, there aren't 6 Ethernets plugging into the computer like we currently have for HDMI cables. It'd be one Ethernet cable plugging into the computer to control all the cameras, which is just like, whew, that's so nice. Don't need a capture card. Don't need to fuck with HDMI. You take away 3 HDMI cables per camera, and you get just one Ethernet cable. And so, I'm cooming. Okay, it's amazing. What version PoE? I didn't know there were versions of PoE. I suppose that makes sense. No one cares to mention them though, so I assume any
It'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Any modern switch, if I get like a Ubiquiti switch that's like 2.5 gig PoE, that'd probably be fine. I want to upgrade your Ethernet. Yeah, I didn't buy a PoE switch for my office when I first set everything up, so I'll need to get one of those. And we'll see how much data throughput one camera uses before determining if we go with 10 gig, 2.5 gig, or
Yeah,
1.
and it obviously depends on what we decide to shoot at.
Exactly, yeah. So we'll do a couple tests with NDI, with this thing called SSP. I don't know what that is, but the camera can do both to see how much data it uses. We're using Cat 5e, I believe, in the walls. No, it's Cat 6 in the walls. But it's a Cat 5e switch, but that'll be replaced, so who cares? Cat 6. Not Cat, what's the newest one? Cat 7a or something like that? I forget. Well, the other thing is that Cat 6 has shielding built into it too, so it can go through walls and shit. You don't gotta buy special HDMI cables for that. This is the perfect camera. Love it. Speaking of, anyone want to buy a bunch of HDMI cables?
Huh.
5E gets you 2.5, Cat 6 gets you 10 in short runs. Okay, now I know what it normally feels like when I speak Warhammer. Lol. Yeah, I know this is probably not things people care about. If you have any painting questions, feel free to ask. Happy to answer them.
What is best in life? Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, to hear the lamentation of their women.
You know what Malev is painting on his stream right now?
Demon ship.
Nope.
Mobile arms.
Damn right.
Nice. Does AK Superman have a cure time after it dries? Absolutely. Every varnish has a cure time after it dries. Every paint has a cure time after it dries. Paint will get stronger and stronger over the course of like the first 24 to 48 hours after it being applied. And the same is true for varnish. A great way to think of varnish is like a paint with no pigment in it. That isn't exactly what it is, but that's kind of how it functions, at least in regards to your question. I switched my NAS to Unraid, probably not good for video editing NAS, but I'm loving it. I'm just using this analogy NAS like you knew from before. I haven't made any crazy changes to it. But I do have a home NAS server now, and I'm thinking about messing around with that. Tossing on Unraid or True NAS. Can you do that? Can you toss Unraid or True NAS onto a like a QNAP or a Synology NAS? Or did they not let you do that? I don't actually know.
I have no idea. I've never really done the NAS game.
Moose, are you trying to make a joke right now? I'm not getting it. Hit me up on Discord. We can geek out about it. All right, sounds good. I like geeking out. Some NAS lets you do Unraid or other things. Okay, cool. Very cool. Playing bad music, Kevin?
No. It's the normal stuff. Well, actually, I went with the higher energy playlist today. Because the low energy playlist was like, I tried like 5 songs and all of them were put me to sleep mode. They weren't even like chill music. Time for the ye old phase. These guys are open. But he doesn't have like any eyeballs actually. What's with that? What's with companies sculpting sockets for eyeballs, but no actual fucking eyeball? He's drowned. You know, he's got drowned eye holes.
The most unique Shatterpoint figure I've seen yet. Sorry, we were.
Oh
painting.
yeah, I should have updated the title.
Yeah, we were painting a Shatterpoint figure earlier. Here he is. He's all done. Good old Grand Inquisitor. We made up some fucking decals too with decal paper. Tossed them on there too. So he's all done up. Excited about him. Thank you, C Crack. Appreciate it. Not a joke. The clarity is much better than I thought a 4/3 system would be live streaming. I'm shocked. So you're saying that a Super 35 makes that much of a difference when compared to Micro 4/3 when streaming?
I don't think it does, but I think people are also underestimating just how much light you have on this scenario.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, like, that's the biggest advantage of running the bigger sensor, right? Is you can go lower light. Theoretically, anyway.
Yeah.
But Scott's got a lot of lumens.
A lot.
Like, at least 10.
This is like 450 watts of LED light. Like when you buy an LED light and it says a wattage on it, that's an equivalent CFL wattage most times. The actual wattage a light consumes, like a typical Edison-style bulb, it's like, I don't know, between 3 and 7 watts.
Yeah, I think 7 is the upper end for like the 100-watt equivalent.
Yeah, and so each Intellitek LC150 is 150 watts of power, and then the LC120 is something, maybe it's 120. That makes sense. So 470. It actually gets warm. It's weird. It's not weird. I just didn't think it would happen with LED lights. But it makes sense.
It's a lot of light.
Is it a lot? I probably don't need this front one. The front one's there so that it can make me look like I am lit well, as opposed to having lights behind my head making my face look dark. So I probably don't need that front one.
No, Mike Genie, it's just like what electric meters used to look like 15 years ago. Remember when we all just had incandescent lights? And we cared about making sure absolutely to turn the lights off when you left a room?
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, whoops, I left this 3-watt thing on.
Yeah, I'm pretty fortunate to have my lighting setup. But at home, I just use 2 architecture lamps with 30-watt bulbs in them. Like they're big LED bulbs. I don't know why they're so big. Maybe because they're really bright. And that works really well. I love the architecture lamp fixture because you can get it anywhere you want it to go. And I move the lamps around a lot to go behind my head to get really close to the model so my head's not casting a shadow on it and like all that shit. And it works really well. And it's very cheap, or at least compared to like red grass creams and like other expensive fixtures. And I have 2 of them.
Well, Scott, it's that time.
It's 4:20.
It is.
Okay. I probably should bring these guys home so I can finish them. I got a lot of an army to paint here. But all right, we can be done. Thank you guys for hanging out so much. Thank you for the support. Appreciate all the subscribers. All the people buying things off the web store. That's awesome. Thank you guys so much. Who should we raid? Malev for that mobile arms.
That's what I think
sweetness.
We're doing, yeah.
All right, we're gonna send you over to Malev, who's painting some mech goodness. Malev is an awesome streamer. He used to rap for you whenever you subscribe. I don't think he does that anymore.
He might if you ask nicely.
But yeah. Thanks guys for the support again. We will be back next week, Tuesday, for another painting stream. Probably gonna be painting Greyjoy for a while, just because I gotta finish the army, and this is the time when I paint. But otherwise, I'll catch you next week, y'all. Enjoy Malev, and for now, goodbye. See you.